Hello and welcome to Clay Pigeon for the finals of BUKC 2020. It is finally the finals. It's been a long time coming. We've been waiting since April for this. We had to rearrange due to lockdown, but here we are now, end of September. We're just about finishing off the season. 3 teams are vying for the BUKC 2020 title. That's Coventry, Oxford Brookes A and Loughborough A. Although Exeter have an outside chance, as do a couple of other teams mathematically, but those 3 teams will be battling out today across 10 sprint races, 2 rounds to be crowned BUKC 2020 champions. We've got a bit of time, so let's go interview some of the drivers, see if we can find one of our title contenders. I know we've got Loughborough A further back, but if I spot Coventry or Oxford Brookes on the way, we will have a quick chat with them. But the one thing that does stick out in this field of young sporting heroes is the pink helmet of Piers Prior. Piers, you're the first title contender that I could find, so tell us about what Loughborough are hoping for from today.
Over some good racing. It's nice to be at a racetrack, and I think we've done well considering we're not supposed, well, everyone else is doing not much, so that's good. But no, looking forward to doing BUKC. Better late than never.
Indeed. Thoughts and feelings on Coventry being here today? Obviously, it was a very last-minute addition to the grid. Didn't look like they were going to be able to compete. Are you glad they're here?
Absolutely not. Who knows? They could be infecting all of us. Who knows? No, it's good they're here to race against. But let's hope that that karma gets them.
Just to confirm, there was no COVID worry with the Coventry team. It was that they weren't allowed to come down due to safety reasons, and then after seeing our risk assessments, the decision was reversed. Any worries from Loughborough on the COVID front? Everyone tested all right?
Everyone's actually very, very cold today, so that's a good sign. Yeah, we're not got any temperatures or anything, so that's good.
It is pretty chilly here. Are we going to struggle in this early race to get the temperatures in the tyres and warm the engines up?
There's some quite unhelpfully placed puddles on the track, so that should be interesting in practice. Obviously only like 3 laps, so especially right into turn 1 on the inside, so that could be sketchy at best, I'd say.
That wasn't meant to happen. Sketchy at best into turn 1. Piers, are any of your title contenders in this race, or have you not bothered looking?
I haven't got a clue, if I'm honest. I'm just going to drive, innit?
So I like to hear, just going to drive. Well, a quick look around says there's no number 1 on the grid, and I don't think Brookes A have got a representative in this one, but I can see Exeter down in front, so I'm going to go have a quick chat with them. Cheers, Piers.
Bye.
If I just jump into the middle row of carts, Ryan Luscombe is in the Exeter A cart. Now, I did kind of write them off in my little introduction there. Ryan, Exeter still mathematically can win this championship. Do you consider yourselves contenders?
Yeah, absolutely. We're still contenders. Yeah, at least hopefully a couple of them will have a dodgy round. So yeah, we'll see how it looks at lunchtime. But yeah, we're definitely with a shout.
How much as a hindrance is the loss of Mr. Karting himself, Konstantinos, to the Exeter A's hopes of winning this title?
It's huge, not gonna lie. Him and Rory, yeah, we're gonna miss them a lot, I think. But yeah, hopefully they're watching, and yeah, they're still, yeah, they've still done their bit. So hopefully we can bring it home for them, or try and get a good result at least.
But you've got some capable drivers in the team, not least yourself. What are you hoping for in this race?
In this race, looking for hopefully top 3. There's some good drivers in front, I see, but and hopefully Piers takes a while to come through. So yeah, hopefully top 3, but I don't want to hope for too much.
Well, all the best for that. I hope you remain contenders throughout the day, and have a good day.
Thank you. Cheers.
Ryan Luscombe there of Exeter A. Now, race winner this year, Matthew Graham for UE, lines up on what is the 3rd row of the grid. Matthew, how have you been spending your lockdown?
Lots of memes, lots of sim racing. I even started streaming for a little bit. Yeah, I've just been so busy watching videos of this track, just getting ready. Yeah, I'm fully prepared.
Have you been on kart sim non-stop around Clay Pigeon?
No, I haven't. Too much iRacing, not enough kart sim. Yeah, all the videos made up for it, though, I reckon. So it'll be a fun one.
And what would you say has changed for you about BUKC the most? Is it the fact that I can't cuddle you on the carts before? Is it the fact that you have to wear a mask around the paddock? What's different about BUKC now?
It's so sad not being able to get intimate with you, and we miss out on that a lot. So yeah, that's been pretty heartbreaking for us, and hopefully I can hug you soon.
I'm sure this time next year we'll all be cuddled up on the side pod getting ready for another race. I'll have a quick chat with the man next to you, Alex Rees, but have a good race.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Apologies for that. We're really going to have to secure this microphone on to the pole a little bit more securely. Alex, how you doing?
Good.
Apologies if the microphone hits you mid-interview. It's nothing personal. You're lining up here on the third row of the grid next to young Matthew Graham. What are your hopes for this morning, this day, and this championship?
Today, I've got good knowledge of clay, so I'm hoping that we can get a top 3. But there are quite a lot of fast people behind, so I'm not sure about that. But with the championship, I think we're sitting around 20th, which isn't too bad for Swansea. It's our first real competitive year, so it's a good start.
Well, 20th certainly an improvement on the number 36, and of course you've battled out with University of Wales Trinity St David for the title of top Welsh university. Do you reckon you can beat them today?
Definitely.
A confident man. All right, well, all the best for that. Hopefully you will come out of this as the best Welsh university in the BUKC. That is, obviously you can never beat Cardiff. Let's go find out who's on pole position. Who have we got here? It's Nottingham Trent, I believe.
Yeah, new to the track, so looking to run well today. No expectations. Hoping to get a good start, set off, have some fun.
I'm loving the new race suits. Are they new for this round?
Yeah, you're liking them. New Nottingham Trent suits, yeah. So.
Who decided on that colour scheme?
Well, it's the uni colour scheme, so we all went along with it, and it looks pretty good. So, yeah.
It certainly stands out. Where'd you get them made?
Well, I couldn't tell you myself, but you could find one online. I'll give you the link if you want.
So there's a club shop. Is there merchandise with Fraser's face on it?
I mean, it's closed, yeah. Closed, sorry.
I will get on to that later on. Well, pole position. Have you started on pole position before?
No, this will be the first, so we'll see what happens.
What's the plan? Can you say it quietly so they can't hear, but what's the plan?
Punt everyone off first corner.
You don't need to punt anyone off. You're in the lead already.
They punt each other off first corner, and I just set off into the distance. So that's the plan. It might work out differently, but we'll see.
That's a bit better of a plan, admittedly. It's a good job we had this conversation, really.
Yeah. I'm happy we had this. Yeah, thanks for the talk.
No problem at all. You get off into that distance, all right? Let's have a wander a bit further back down the grid now that we've sussed out who's at the front. In the Birmingham car, the number 4, I'll have a quick chat. Who have we got here?
It's Sam Rowling.
Sam, middle of the pack. Birmingham's season hasn't quite gone as well as it did last year. Can we have a bit of redemption today on the finals?
Yeah, I hope so. I think we're in contention for the Clubman's Championship. Yeah, it's my first race of the season, so might be a bit rusty, but we'll see what we can do.
How good are you around clay pigeon?
Not amazing, but I think last time I came it was quite wet. But hopefully I'll be able to brush off the cobwebs and make some places up.
It's good to hear. Right, as you can hear over the microphone, we're about to get started, so I'm going to grab one more quick interview, but you have a good day.
Well, thanks, you too.
That was Sam Rowley for Birmingham, and just in behind Piers Prior, I believe this is it's De Montfort. We're going to talk to De Montfort just quickly. Who have we got in here?
I got Sam.
Sam, how's De Montfort day looking? I know you're missing a couple of drivers.
Well, I've not been here before, but I'm going to try my best.
You're a quick learner, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
You're starting behind Piers as well, one of our title contenders we just had a word to earlier. You're going to follow him through the pack?
Yeah, I'll try and stick on his tail.
Well, that sound is the sound of the engines getting going again in the BUKC. We have, as I said, 10 sprint races for you. 5 in this round, 5 this afternoon. 2 lightweights, 2 heavyweights and 1 middleweight. It's a new format for the BUKC. We've got reduced numbers in this finals event due to COVID, but nonetheless the action will be thick and fast. Let me introduce you to our commentary team for the day. That's Double Dash Motorsport Media, Andrew Mather and Howard Mitchell. Guys, over to you to talk us through the racing.
Thank you, Jacob. They're down on the dummy grid. And hello, everybody. It is indeed myself, Howard Mitchell, and Andrew Mather of Double Dash Motorsport Media in the comms box for you today. Hello not only to those of you watching on the stream, but to those of you around the circuit who can hopefully still hear me on the tannoy as all of the karts get underway. We are going to crown ourselves some champions finally today after I want to say 198 days now of waiting. Andrew, we are finally going to get our 2020 season wrapped up and decided right here today at Clay Pigeon.
And it's taken all of 25 seconds for someone to spin off.
Yes.
33 has gone off at the approach to Billy Blind. Good morning, everybody. Great to be back. I think for a while there were some of us who thought that we might not see this day, at least in 2020, so it's great to be back. I also want to make the listeners and the viewers aware that in true BUKC fashion, something is happening this morning that I have never come across the karting circuit before. I don't know who it is. My bet is it's JV. I think he's taken it up whilst he's been on lockdown. Someone in our vicinity is playing a melodica very badly. We've had Happy Birthday, Coronation Street, even a bit of Green Sleeves.
Old MacDonald.
Old MacDonald had a
Green
farm.
Sleeves. Although, to be fair, if we're able to identify them, mate, maybe it's not as bad as we think.
It's JV. I think he's taking it up.
Yes.
During lockdown, whilst we had no Club 100 racing, he's taking that up. Shall we go on with a grid?
Let's do that. Yes. Shall I take us through it then? Your grid for race number 1 of 5. Remember, for this 7th round of the 2020 British Universities Karting Championship. We were just hearing down on the grid from William Toon, who's going to take the Nottingham-Trent C-Kart from pole position. Alexander Doricott will start alongside for Imperial A. Row 2 is going to be Ethan Jones of Brooks D and Will Stacey of Leeds A. Leeds, one of our teams in contention for the Clubman's Championship title today, don't forget. Alex Rees of Swansea A and UEA's Matthew Graham make up row number 3. Row 4 is going to be Callum Brooks of Exeter B and Callum Jenkins of Hertfordshire A. Exeter A have Ryan Luscombe going for them with Joe Davison of Bath A on row number 5. There we go, sorry, I got ahead of the graphics there we go. Row 6 is going to be Cambridge B's Dominic Cousins and Birmingham C's Benjamin Boros. On row number 7 we're going to have Birmingham A, another team who are in that fighting for that Clubman's title today. They have Sam Rowling going for them and Lucas Sullivan with, I often think of it as his Degrassi style helmet, some of you will know what I mean, going for Brooks B alongside. Row 8 is going to be Scott Van Breda for Bath B and Bournemouth A's James Harrington. Row 9 is going to be Newcastle B's James Grant and Ben Gilbert for University of Wales Trinity St David A. That is the last time I'm going to say that in long form today, folks. Sheffield A have Jasper Chamberlain and Piers Prior for Loughborough A, one of our teams vying for that Premier main title today. There on row 10. Row 11, I'm going to go a little bit quicker just as we're going into rolling up here. Row 11 is Newcastle A with Aaron Foster and De Montfort A's Sam Monroe. Row 12 is going to be Southampton A's George Palozzi and Chris Hancock's. Callum Evans takes UWTSD B's kart and Tom Cuthbertson alongside for De Montfort B on row 13. Row 14 will be Nottingham Trent A's Sam Pooley and Leeds B's Robert Starley. Alex Mitchell starts for Brighton A with Roberto Pereira for Nottingham Trent B on row 15. Row 16 will be Birmingham B's Junior Zhao and Robert Dakin for Warwick B. And then Warwick A start 33rd of the 33 runners, David Macbeth at the wheel. That's how they line up then for us here today. We have 42 entries in today's running. Our heart does go out to anyone who perhaps would have liked to have been here competing but for whatever reason wasn't able to. We were talking about this a little bit on our Double Dash Motorsport Media podcast previewing this event, but it sure as anything is still great that we are able to go racing again with still a relatively healthy field. Here we go then, let's decide our champions at Clay Pigeon. Away we go for race number 1 of round 7, through the fast left-hander and down into braking for Billy's Blind, and it's a good start from... No, it's Toon is round, our pole sitter spins round right away there. So he's straight to the back of the field as they work their way through the S's.
Number of other karts off towards the back of the field, but everyone but one has got going again now.
It's Alex Rees who's got to the head of the field, but he's under pressure going through the Hans hairpin there, but he's managed to hold on to it. He's being pursued by Ethan Jones, who's had a good start for Brooks D from 3rd on the grid, as they're going to come round now out of this left-hand horseshoe corner through Button and then through Top Bend here to come round and complete the first lap. Looks like Piers Prior has had a characteristically strong first lap here. Let's call them as they come across the line for the first time here at the end of lap 1. Swansea are leading ahead of Brooks D. Exeter B leads A, UEA and Exeter A. Your top 6 as off there. Billy's Blind, that's a big shunt there. Can't make out quite which karts are involved. I'll call it out on timing as they come round, or if you can spot them.
Number 98.
I think that's Hearts off the top of my head. It is Hearts.
And the number 31.
So that was Hertfordshire A and Bath A who were contesting that one. Bath A, team that's been having a strong season.
There's another one down there in there as well. It's the approach to Billy's Blind. It's a big braking zone. It's very, very easy to get wrong, especially on a morning like this where it's cold, it's windy, the tyres and car engines are cold as well. You've got to be a little bit easy into Billy's Blind because that's what happens.
Incident in the horseshoe as well, Andrew. We've got the number 10 of Warwick A involved, and there's somebody else on the outside of the horseshoe. Another aspect I did spot today, mate, it is almost completely dry, but there are just 1 or 2 spots on this track where there's a bit of a damp patch, and if you catch one of those at such a high-speed circuit as this, that one can be very difficult, as the leaders have to come through the recovering Warwick A kart, and whoever it was they had the incident with, going to try and call that on timing who that is as they come round.
You've had a black flag as well, mate, for the number 31 for an ABC takeout. That's Bath A, so that's not a good start for a team looking for top 10 in the championship overall. I do wonder, as you say, with the damp conditions where you can see the remnants of puddles, that might almost be giving a false sense of security to some of the drivers. You can tell it's the first race, can't you?
Yes.
Where you go, oh yeah, there's a wet patch. The bit that doesn't look wet, that must be dry. No, that will still be damp, especially in this first race of the morning. We had similar conditions at Rye House a couple of weeks ago for some Club 100 events. Down the inside there goes the number 19 on the 34.
Just to finish off on the incident that was in the horseshoes, Prize is round, Piers Prior is round, and it also sends the 39 off in avoidance, and a nasty connection with the wall there for the 39 of Newcastle B, but Piers Prior of Loughborough A went into a spin, and I didn't see anything that led to that, Andrew. To be honest, I didn't catch the start of it, but yes, I just want to finish up before I forget. It was Southampton A who were involved in the incident with Warwick A at the horseshoe. So 2 of our Premier teams there off the back of the track, off the pack. We're hearing that Piers Prior of Loughborough A spun round of his own accord, of his own volition. That is extremely unusual. I'd go and get your lottery tickets now, folks, because if it's that kind of day, you're in with a shout.
But also shows just how tricky the track conditions are at the moment for a driver of Piers' experience in this competition to make a mistake like that. You know, there's going to be some big fallers today if that kind of stuff keeps happening.
And the pressure, Andrew, the pressure. You know, he knows that the other 2 main teams vying for this championship are not in this race. It's the opportunity for him to get those early points. He has recovered it. It was a spin, and we should give mention as well to the heavier impact that it led to for the number 39 of Newcastle B. It is circulating again, I believe, so I think the kart has survived its connection with the barrier there. I'm just going to verify who is in that kart. It is James Grant for Newcastle B, but as I say, I'm just going to double check, but I'm pretty sure he's back circulating, so good to see that he's fundamentally okay. I have had a similar connection with the barriers here at Clay. It didn't go quite so well. I managed to shear a steering column here once, such was the connection of the barrier, but that's me. That's me.
Why did you do this?
But yeah, Piers Prior is recovered as well. Where is he recovered in? He's in 15th spot.
The crucial thing, he's still in the pack as well, so with 20 minutes of this race to run, he's still got the time to pull back through.
Change for the lead, Andrew. University of West of England A now lead it with their driver in for them, Matthew Graham, has now got past the Swansea driver of Alex Rees. One thing that struck me, mate, as Jacob was doing his interviews, I think we've got a lot of clay pigeon newcomers here today. So I think that's going to be an interesting one.
That's another one that I think, in a way, I'm a little bit surprised that we're seeing them in this race. We talked about it on the podcast, didn't we? That especially with everyone big as the 39s.
That's another incident for Southampton A. Not Southampton A, excuse me. Newcastle B.
You know, we talked about on the podcast how you'd probably want to put an experienced driver, especially of this circuit, in for the first race of the day. You know, drivers tired first thing in the morning. They are students after all, and some of them have had big long journeys today, unable to stay in hotels, of course, or camp due to the COVID-19 restrictions of their different universities. Just down the inside there goes the number 16 on the 81, so that's for 5th place.
Yeah, St Montfort A on Cambridge B.
But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that some drivers without experience of the circuit, because we've been here a good number of times over the years.
Yeah, but on alternating years.
Yeah.
In a championship where you rotate the class of the field on average every 3 to 4 years. I take your point though. But any drivers in their first or second year of study.
Nottingham Trent A down the inside of Birmingham A there for 9th place. Birmingham A, of course, going for the clubman's title today. Locked on points with Leeds University at the start of proceedings, but that was a good move from Nottingham Trent A to get themselves back up to 9th. Defending there, that's I think that was De Montfort A and Sheffield A going at it. Yeah, Sheffield A, the number 18. And they've lost a position there to... is that the number 13? Is that someone recovering from a lap down? Because I don't see them on timing at the moment.
Yeah, it's Southampton A, mate.
Okay.
It's after that incident they had in the horseshoe that, to my eyes, looked to be connected with
wide.
Warwick. 3 wide into the horseshoe. Goes this battle then, including Trent A with Sam Pooley at the wheel. As they come on to a new lap. 25 minutes, the sprint races in the BUKC. To those who follow other forms of kart sprint racing in the UK, that might seem quite a lengthy one. Some people even call these kinds of races sprint duros, as they're sort of a mix of sprints and endurances. But that is the traditional length of the race in the BUKC. As Nottingham Trent A go down the inside there on Brooks D. And I think that's Sam Pooley up to 7th place now, ahead of Brooks D's Ethan Jones. Should just mention, by the way, you saw our Will Toon, our pole sitter, go off right basically at the first major corner of the race, as Piers Prior here is looking to put a move on the Brooks D kart. Into Billy's Blind they go, and trying to follow through is Birmingham A as well, and they've both got the job done. So that was good move from Piers Prior of Loughborough in the number 2 kart, but also as ahead of them Sheffield A go down the inside of Birmingham C, and Piers Prior is going to try and jump onto that as well. He's going to have to go the long way around the horseshoe here, but I think if he can just keep his foot in it, he's going to have the inside line of Button Corner. He hasn't got the job done yet, and meanwhile Brooks D trying to come back at Birmingham A here. I thought it was very good, savvy, opportunistic driving by Sam Rowling to try and follow Piers Prior through at the start of the lap, but he's now got passed by Ethan Jones from Brooks D again, as we're looking as well. Who else is in there? That's the 31, which I think might be one of our karts a lap down. It is. It's the recovering Bath A kart. I should say there's quite a few drivers who have sort of fallen off the back or had incidents, and our pole sitter who spun off at the first major corner of the lap is now up to someone else has gone off there. As I say, there's a few incidents happening out there, and our pole sitter has recovered back to 20th place, so into the top 20, having been in the tyres at the first major braking zone of the race. In fact, at this corner, this is the Sturmey Straight, heading down towards the Hans hairpin. number 81 of Cambridge B there, with Nottingham Trent A in pursuit. Should say, by the way, Swansea A have just taken the fastest lap of the race, trying to get on to the back of the leader in the form of Matthew Graham in the number 55 University of West England kart. Alex Rees trying to get on terms with Matthew Graham at the front of this one, but there's a 1.5 second advantage, and indeed, as if they have the comms being funneled right into their ears, Matthew Graham sets a new fastest lap of the race as well on this time round, so he's able to keep that Swansea kart at arm's length. Then it's about 0.7 of a second back to the number 5 of Exeter A, with Ryan Luscombe at the wheel. We're here, though, looking at the Loughborough A move up the field, and there is the number 4 of Birmingham A as well, looking to get as many points on the board. Currently sat 10th and 11th, these two drivers, with some championship pressures on them today. Should mention, though, when I'm talking about Birmingham, though, Leeds A, who are your leaders in Clubman's coming into today, Will Stacey, still in 5th place for them at the moment.
It's going to be a really intriguing battle, I think, across the course of the day. They've both got themselves into that position with some good scores over the season so far. But they'll also be thinking as well in terms of the new, for 2021, promotion and relegation system. We're not going to have a qualifiers like in previous years later, well, not actually that far away once we get into November. So there's opportunities today. If you don't win the Clubman's title, you've still got spots to play for into the Premier class, the top class in this this series that you're watching here today. So they've got to go for it. They've got a title and a trophy at stake at the end of the day, but at the same time they don't want to throw it all away and risk falling out of the top 4 of Clubman's, which is possible.
It's possible, and the other aspect of that, mate, is suddenly, on a day that usually would be fairly calm for teams towards the lower end of our Prem class and the lower end of our Clubman's class, suddenly some of the pressure that traditionally would be felt on a qualifiers day, more details on this some other time, folks, but we don't have a standard qualifiers format going into the 2021 BUKC system.
35 was your spinner there, just on camera, 35.
Okay, that is... who is in the third? That is the Warwick B kart, so it's not a good race for Warwick out there at the moment. But yes, there's a pressure there today for some of our lower-ranked Prem and Clubman teams that they wouldn't usually have on the final day. Usually you would have this pressure deferred to a qualifiers day, but they don't have that now. So those teams in the Prems, in the lower 4 of those, they've got a pressure on to try and stay within the Prem class should they so wish. And likewise for the Clubmans, if they want to still be in the Mains Championship as opposed to probably one of the front runners in the Inters Championship next year, they've got to put in the effort, as the Warwick B kart has another drama there, and it comes courtesy of Exeter A's Ryan Luscombe. I couldn't tell, Andrew, if that was a spin that was already happening and Luscombe corrected it, or Luscombe made the contact that initiated the spin.
It's one of those that the Warwick driver will go, I got spun round there. The number 5 will probably say, I got turned in on there.
Yes, and say I saved it as well.
It is the thing through the S's there, through the chicane, that the drivers do get told about too. And in fact, the race control have judged that to be Warwick B turning in. And I have to say, I think I agree with them on that one. Drivers have been told, if you're going into that S's complex side by side, just be a bit careful, because you can't really race through there side by side through the whole sequence of corners. You know, if someone is right up along your inside, they're not going to disappear. They can't jump out the way, so you kind of got to yield there. I think that's why the Warwick B driver got that contact warning.
Yeah, we've got a lot of karts on down by a lap here because of the number of incidents. So, for example, you just saw the Nottingham Trent A kart going through the hairpin with the number 74 of Nottingham Trent B close by. So the sister karts, if you like. In fact, yeah, if anyone's there trying to get publicity shots for Nottingham Trent, get your camera out now, because they're running together on track, albeit they are a lap apart. Here we go, though. There's a nice battle group that's going through there. This is the battle for us. Someone's off there down at the bottom corner. And
it is a Prem kart.
It is a Prem kart. I think it's Southampton again, just from the race suit combination. this is a new experience, mate. You are going to have to be my spotter down at the bottom corner because, for those of you who aren't aware, Andrew and I have a screen between us today, and it's made the entirety of the bottom corner a little out of focus for me.
It's the number 1-3, which is Southampton.
Southampton, there you go. So I could spot it even through a translucent screen. There we go. But yes, folks, it is like we've had a major row in the night. Don't worry, we are still friends, I think. But
I don't like you anymore.
Here we go, though. We're into the final 10 minutes of this one. And this is a fascinating group of karts we've got here. That's the 54 of Birmingham C with Loughborough A, who have been chasing them for a number of laps now, I think. It's Benjamin Boros at the wheel of that Birmingham C kart, putting in a good stint for them here in this one. There is the 81 of Cambridge B in 7th place, and then comes the pack of Birmingham C in 8th, Loughborough A in 9th in number 2, the number 18 of Sheffield A, the number 4 of Birmingham A, and Bath B are with them as well. So this is the closest battle, or the largest battle group that's still out there that hasn't been separated out in this one. And the 33 is not part of this. They are a lap down, I want to say. I'm trying to spot them on the order. There was a penalty, by the way, awarded to Brooks D mid-race, but other than that, it's been a largely clean one, this one. Still University of the West of England A in the lead of this one by 4.3 seconds. It's a really, really good run, this, from Matthew Graham so far. Swansea A with Alex Rees in 2nd place. He has still within a second of him Ryan Luscombe in the Exeter A car. He's just been able to hold that gap at a few tenths each time. Here, though, is the battle still going on as they go past the 33, as I say. I believe that to be a kart that's a lap down. It's Loughborough C. There we go. I finally found them on the order. Well, that 33 kart will want to get out of the way for Piers Prior, nice and sharpish, and I believe it has done. So here we go. Piers Prior now on the tail of Benjamin Boros in the 54 Birmingham C kart. This is for 8th place. One of our Prem karts battling with a Clubman kart, but they're all scored together, so each position helps Loughborough out, even though they're in different subclasses. And there is a change there. Piers Prior is through.
That was really nicely made by Piers. It's a classic clay pigeon move that you put yourself to the outside. I'm saying that, he's just got re-overtaken down the straight into the hairpin. But you put yourself on the outside of the approach to Billy's blinds, then try and switch back as you go into the S's. But yeah, Piers not as quick out of the S's, so he'll try and get that done again and get a bit of straight line speed out of that slight left-hander.
The kart that he's battling with is Sheffield A. Interesting one, this, Andrew. Sheffield A in the 18 there, with Birmingham A on their tail. It's Sheffield A has Jasper Chamberlain in the car, and it's Sam Rowling in that Birmingham A car. Andrew, these are 2nd and 3rd placed in the Clubman's Championship here, albeit they're a few points apart, but Sheffield will want to stay ahead of Birmingham if they can at all help it.
And a key thing that I am going to point out as well, the 54 being Birmingham C, I may have seen some documents, some briefing documents, shall we say, and there's a penalty there for the Loughborough A car for a bumper pass. I think that was into the horseshoe.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen now black flag the Brooks D. Now that's key in their battle with UWE-A.
Offences.
So, because they're in a battle today with our current race leaders for one of potentially the final spots in Premier for next year. So that's a key one. Just want to make this point about Birmingham C. Because Birmingham A have got a job to do today of trying to win this Clubman's title, all the other Birmingham teams have been told, no matter who it is, get in the way, unless it's Birmingham A, at which point you do the old Felipe Fernando is faster than you. I think we're seeing that a little bit here. I think this is the first example of it, and it is paying dividends to Birmingham A, because they are right in this train and could potentially pick up some more points, as Rowling has a little look there at the Sheffield A rear bumper.
We're not talking a lot about our race leader, but that is credit to just how well he is controlling this one. Another fastest lap of the race a couple of laps ago, really setting the pace here, leading by 4.5 seconds. Shout out as well to the battle that's developing over 4th place now. De Montfort A and Leeds A, the number 16 and the 34, they're having a good battle there. And I don't think I've mentioned Dominic Cousins at all, having a good drive for Cambridge B at the moment in 7th place, albeit he's just got a contact warning as I say that. So here we go, we're looking here. Where are we in the pack here? We are looking at our leader going through on the number 3, which is Brooks B, with Lucas Sullivan at the wheel. So here is our leader, Matthew Graham, having a fantastic drive so far. He's just got to control this one for another 5 minutes. Haven't seen any penalties come up. The pace is fantastic. So this is a brilliant drive for UEA to get their day going. This is one of our clubman teams who are in that group, Andrew. Actually, this is big, and we haven't noted this one so far. UEA currently sit 4th within the clubman standings, so are right on the cusp of that promotion today. Apologies if you had already mentioned that one, mate, but that's big for them. If they can get this haul of points to start off their tally, they may not take the clubman's title today, but they may get themselves up into the Prem class for next year. Remember, black number plates on the carts are our clubman runners, red number plates are our Premier class runners. They're all scored together, but there is a sub-championship for the clubmans, and there'll be some silverware as well for them at the end of this round. As down the inside of the Brooks B cart to put a lap on them goes Matthew Graham for University of West of England A. Moves, interestingly, I was talking about Dominic Cousins in that Cambridge B cart. Benjamin Boros, rather than having to defend against Piers Prior in that Loughborough A cart, he's actually caught up and passed the Cambridge B cart. So Birmingham C in 7th place here.
I gotta say, this is... Birmingham had a real shaky season. At times they've, I'm afraid to use this term, bottled it. This has been really good tactics so far this morning. They've managed to get Birmingham A past Loughborough, past Sheffield with some good play from the C team.
Yeah.
They've now got the C team ahead of the B team. I guess they'll do the same now and try and back that 81 cart up towards the number 4.
Yeah.
We could have, especially with Leeds up there in 5th, we could have Birmingham A not too far behind in 7th by the end of this race.
I mean, we might need an F in the chat for their events awning, but yes.
Yes, it's gone full Warwick this morning, hasn't it?
It did. It can get rather... You can probably see from all of the flags on shot that it is rather blustery here. In fact, we haven't spoken about it. This is probably a very... Well, this is a very challenging race. You've come out first thing. The sun's very low here, so that's in your eye. And there's a tremendous headwind as they're heading down this straight that they're going on to now. This Sturmey straight for the number 17. This is Nottingham Trent A. In 4th place, with Leeds A bearing down on them in the number 34. To put some names to that one, Sam Pooley in that Nottingham Trent A cart, and no, not Robert Starley, he's in the Leeds B cart. Leeds A is Will Stacey, so chasing down Leeds A again, trying to get as many points as they can in their pursuit of the clubman title today. So even though this is a Prem cart versus a clubman cart, this is something that Will in that Leeds A effort, the number 34 cart, is really going to want to try and maximise here against the 17 in that battle over 4th place. 90 seconds left on the clock then, and still Matthew Graham dips into the 40-second mark below the 41s, a 40.947. That happened a few laps ago, but fantastic pace that he's got out there this morning. Good race so far for Swansea A as well. And Exeter A. We can't, I mean, a lot of people are talking about the top 3 in the championship, but we cannot forget that Exeter A are sat there right towards the top of the Prem's class in 4th place. If something really freakish happens, I mean, they are mathematically still in this one. So it's a good opening, an opening volley there from Exeter A and Ryan Luscombe running in that 3rd place at the moment. We're looking at the battle over 4th still. As we cut back to our leader then, presumably coming on to the last lap here. Indeed he is. So it's been a fantastic drive this so far for Matthew Graham. He's really controlled this one. The gap has come down a little bit over the last few laps, but I think that's because of the amount of traffic that he's had to deal with, as you can see. And the number 36 of Swansea, some 3 seconds back, and there's another further 2.5 back to Exeter A. But Matthew Graham here.
Sorry, Howard. The key thing in Clubman, just off our screen, the number 4 of Birmingham A is right up the chuff of Cambridge B, looking to try and make a move on this last lap, and they've still got their Birmingham C card out ahead. But here comes Matthew Graham round the final corner to take a very good first win of the day.
Brilliant drive to get University of West of England's points tally underway nicely, and just to spice things up, a bit of a Clubman victory just to get us going. So good stuff there. Swansea A finished second, Exeter A with some good points to open their final day of this season's championship in third. Fourth for Nottingham Trent A. They did manage to keep Leeds A at arm's length towards the end. De Montfort A in sixth. Birmingham C in seventh. Good drive there for Benjamin Boros. Dominic Cousins for Cambridge B finishes in eighth. Sam Rolling finishes ahead of Piers Prior there. Birmingham A in ninth and 10th for Loughborough A. I can't help but feel they'll be hoping for a bit better than that, mate, if they're going to take the fight to this championship. But it's not terrible considering he spun. But the spin will have cost him dear there. Sheffield A in 11th, 12th Exeter B. Let's round up the top 15. Imperial A, University of Wales, Trinity St David B, and Bournemouth A, your top 15.
Interesting first race that, mate. I think that puts Loughborough. We saw this at qualifiers earlier in the season, and we've seen it in previous years as well. It's a potential weakness of theirs that they can put themselves on the back foot a little bit, and I fear they've done that. As there we have a look at the winner, Matthew Graham. He's had a stellar season. He's been brilliant all year, and he's back on form once again. I think hopefully we can pass down in a moment, unless someone says in my ear we're not ready. To Jacob Harris is in the pits with his long pole, with a microphone on the end, and hopefully it stays there. To have a chat with our winner from that first race of the day. Yeah, let's head down to Jacob, who is in the dummy grid.
Thank you, Andrew. Down here with race winner Matthew Graham, who's just taking his GoPro off his cart. Some lovely footage of absolutely nothing in front of him, I'd imagine, for most of that. Matthew, come and stand over here, but not too close to me. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. That was completely unexpected, that one. I haven't really been here, in 7 years. Obviously all the YouTube videos worked out, just as I said. But no, absolutely amazing. And the team really needed it, so it's just been great to do it for UE. Give it a big push into the last round, see how high up we can finish. But yeah, it was great. It was a good race. I was pretty much clear at the front for 90% of that one, but I was just having fun with all the back markers, and the track was just coming in, and it was just great. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a good time out there. High hopes for the rest of the day then.
Yeah, let's just keep the same momentum and see how we do.
And am I right in thinking you're racing on Sunday for the first time in Drivers' Champs?
Yeah, first Drivers' Champs, so it's my first year in BUKC, so that should be fun. It's right here again. Obviously, I'm somewhat decent at the track, so yeah, we'll give it our best on Sunday as well.
Well, I'm looking forward to see how well you're doing, and all the best for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't really want to touch you with COVID and everything, but I'd be embarrassing to leave you hanging on the live stream, wouldn't it? Never mind. Right, next up is race number 2. I believe we're switching from lightweights to heavyweights. We are just waiting for the grid to clear in a COVID-secure manner before the rest of the drivers come in to maintain social distancing. You'll see them all waiting just up the top there behind me, or rather in front of me behind the camera. And here they come now. As the grid has been cleared, they are allowed to take their positions in the karts. Sam Spinell there at the front of the pack. He will take the seat for Coventry University, and we will go grab a chat with him just as soon as he's put his number plate on. He's starting this one second on the grid, and for a man of Sam's talent, that should be at the very least a top 3 finish. Give him a chance to get those pins in for the number 1 plate, which they're hoping to retain today, and put his transponder on. As I said, this will be a heavyweight race, I believe, which means the weight minimum will be 82 kilos. We do that to make sure it is as fair as possible. Race number 3 will be in middleweight for the first time. That's 78 kilo minimum. Followed by another lightweight and another heavyweight race. Lightweight being 75 kilos. Bit of lead flashing for Sam just to make sure he is completely up on the limit, and it goes in the base of the seat. And then in goes Sam. Bit late for not getting that on camera, Sam. And in he goes. Right then, Mr. Spinell, lucky to be here.
Yeah, we really appreciate the SU pushing it for us, George, Matas and all that, so we're thankful to even be here on the grid. We got the information late Wednesday night, so yeah, we're very thankful for them.
And now that you are here, can you retain that number 1 plate?
Yeah, as much as we'd like to say it, we're trying not to think about it, just try focus on our races, and hopefully at the end of the day we get the result.
Seems like a long time ago now, but GYG wasn't the best of days out for you guys. Disappointing results there. Are you more confident with Clay Pigeon?
Yeah, apart from GYG, we've done really well in this championship, so hopefully we can just ignore what happened there and just try do well at Clay Pigeon.
And have you got your ideal driver lineup today? No one missing due to COVID?
No, thank God. But yeah, I've never driven here before, so we'll see. I've got 3 laps.
You should do all right from second on the grid, Sam. You haven't exactly made it hard for yourself, have you?
Nah, Joe took it easy on me and took the back start.
All right, well, I'm sure we'll go find him at the back of the grid in whichever race he's in. Can you convert this into a win then, Sam? Tell me now, once and for all.
Yes.
Good man. All the best for that. I shall speak to you later. Let's wander back, see who his competition is. I'm quite sure who that is here, but here we've got Giulio Peroni.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. And what are you doing back here on the 3rd row?
Trying to get ahead, I guess. But yeah, see what we can do today. Try and get a top 5 finish, hopefully. Maybe top 3 if we get lucky.
How are you around Clay Pigeon?
First time, actually.
Really? Actually, you've been doing BUKC a few years, haven't you?
Yeah, but there was only one race like a couple of years ago, and unfortunately it's the only one I couldn't make while I was at the BUKC, so I haven't driven it. But
have you at least watched lots of YouTube videos on boards and things like that to learn the line?
Yeah, I've watched some stuff. I did my homework, so hopefully it goes well.
And as to today's race then, you got Mr. Spinell up on the front row for Coventry. You hoping you can keep with him?
Well, that would be nice for sure. Hopefully. I guess we'll see what the pace is like and then go from there.
All right then, well, thank you very much for talking to us. Have a good race. And let's wander back down the grid, see who else we can pick up. I'm looking for Oxford Brooks A, who are the only title contenders we haven't spoken to now, but I can't pick out. I think it's the number 2. No, that's B. That's B. Never mind, let's have a chat with this man here for Cambridge. It's Alistair Senior. Alistair, how you doing?
Yeah, doing all right. It's good to be back in the kart. Yeah, looking forward to it.
A great day out at GYG for Cambridge, wasn't it? Some good results. Are you hoping for more of the same today?
We hope so. I mean, yeah, see what we can do from here. Hope to come through the pack. Wasn't a good day for me personally at GYG, so I'm trying to redeem myself a bit here.
And I hear you guys are keeping the same team next year, so are you looking to get a bit of momentum going into the 2021 season?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. I mean, we've got a very strong team. The hope is to try and, yeah, consolidate what we've done this year and maybe try to go for the win next year. So, see how it goes.
Thank you very much for talking to us, Alistair. Unfortunately, we will not have time to go in search of that Oxford Brooks A kart. We'll have to talk to them before race number 3. Right now, though, handing it back to the commentary box, Andrew and Howard to talk us through race number 2.
Thank you, Jacob. So as we go into our anti-penultimate lightweight race of the season, as someone already has spun there down at Billy's blind. So yeah, lightweights. We did have our, when we're talking about lightweight and interweight and heavyweight, we did have lightweight and heavyweight throughout the whole season, of course. We've got this intersweight to deal with the fact that we're down to the 5 races for our 2 rounds here today. Let's take you, as many of them by the sounds of it are learning the track out there on their warm-up laps. Let's take you through the grid. It's going to be Lucas Gross on pole for Nottingham Trent B here. So another Trent pole there. Coventry, random grids, remember, for this. Sam Spinell alongside for Coventry A. Their first race of the day, trying to open up their pursuit of retaining that number 1 plate well today. Huddersfield A have Sam Wilson going for them, with Loughborough C's Ben Smith alongside on row 2. Row 3 is Diego Martinez for Southampton A and Giulio Peroni for Loughborough B. Both surprised to hear that he hasn't been here before. Experienced carter there. Sam Baxter of Bath A and Elena Lopez La Rosa of Brighton A make up row number 4. Row 5 is going to be Oxford Brook C's Gareth Haynes, experienced driver for them, and Angel Marco for Warwick B. Row 6 is going to be Newcastle A's Ollie Underwood and Johnny Knight for De Montfort A. Row 7 is going to be Jake Dodd for Sheffield A. Leeds B have Alex Megginson going alongside. Row number 8 is going to be UWTSD B's Angus Rankin, and then Tim Mountford Lister for Birmingham B. Row 9 is going to be Warwick A's Archie Hobson and Alistair Senior for Cambridge A. Interesting to hear down on the grid that they're planning to retain a lot of their team going into next season. Consistency can be a very powerful tool in the BUKC, particularly going into next year. Brooks A have Tom Geeney going for them as they open their pursuit of the title today, and Thomas Manty alongside for Manchester A to round out your top 20. Row 11 have Exeter A with Jensen Brown at the wheel and Benjamin Boros at the wheel of the Birmingham A cart, which suggests that he was points ineligible in race number 1 if our notes are correct. Brighton B have Ezekiel James. Brooks D have George Belloc Ruiz going for them on the row number 12. Row 13 have Swansea A with Bryn Griffiths at the wheel. Hertfordshire A have Tom Hamblin for them. Row 14 is Bath B's Ben Mayo and Timothy Pickford for Nottingham A. Angus Brett goes for Cambridge B with Exeter B alongside on row 15. We don't have a driver for that one. And then on row 16, University of West England have Felix Connolly with Junior Zhao going for Birmingham C. Sam Pooley rounds out your 33 kart grid for Nottingham Trent C. Now, some of those names I mentioned before, we are going to have to get a confirmed list of points ineligible drivers, because obviously we're in slightly unusual circumstances here. There may have been a limit, squads from each of the unions may have been able to only field a certain number of drivers here today, so we may have some drivers doubling up for the B, C and D teams from various universities. So if you are seeing repeat names and going, I thought I just heard that name, that probably explains that one. But it looks like we're good for a go here for another 25-minute sprint race in the British Universities Karting Championship. Lucas Gross on pole for the number 74 Nottingham Trent B squad. It's going to be an interesting one this for Sam Spinell in that Coventry A kart. What can he do to get Coventry's efforts to close out this title today? Away we go then. Engine notes rise as we head through turn number 1 and into the first major braking zone. It's a good start for Gross. Is he going to overcook it? No, he's not, as they all come through Billy's blind for the first time. It looks to me like they're all... I started saying it too soon, folks. We've got some spinners there. Call them as they... Well, I'll call them as they come around. Look at this. Sam Spinell looking for any which way, trying to do a pass on the grass, and that's going to leave him under threat from Diego Martinez in the number 13 Southampton A kart, and he's going to... we've got a full start. Full start, and that is because subsequent to the incident we saw at the back at Billy's blind, there's been something else that's happened there at the S's. One of the carts being recovered there. Some of the tyres at the S's have been sent absolutely flying, I've got to say. So, just seeing who was involved. The 32 looks like it was involved in some of the shenanigans there, but is underway again. That would make it that's Birmingham B. So they've been quote-unquote thrown a lifeline, as it were. We've got this cart that's still yet to be recovered, though, from Billy's Blind. It looks like it's one of our Prem carts from the colour of that number plate, although it's difficult to tell in that light. Adjusting the number plate clips as well, so it's a replacement cart indeed. Don't know if you can spot what the number is on that one as a... well, actually, I can probably look at timing now, because they're about to cross the timing loop for the start-finish line. So who's dropping down all the way to the back?
5 minutes off race time, mate, if we've not mentioned it already.
Good point. It is Bath B in that cart, the number 53. So this is Ben Mayo, who's just having to do a cart change there. You can see he's detached the lead ballast from the lead post. They're putting down the seat insert, so he's, unlike me, he's one of our lighter drivers who need the lead and the seat insert to feel comfortable in the seat there, and he'll get going again and join the back of the rolling up pack.
Whilst we're having a slight pause, it's an opportune moment to say hello to some of our folks on YouTube. Hello to Lee Henderson. Good luck everyone. Roll on Wilton Mill on the 11th of October. That is our next Club 100 Sprints round, of course. Coming up there. Hello to Louise Fox as well. Wishing Coventry all the best. Go out and enjoy it. Have a great day, especially after the work that's gone on with George Bridson and my boy. I'm absolutely gutted. I'm very happy Coventry are here and taking part in it, but I am gutted that my boy Matas is not here. So if you're listening out, mate, I miss you loads. And a reminder in my ear as well, as of present, unless Big Daddy Rona decides to throw any more curveballs at us, the Wilton Mill Sprints round for Club 100 will be streamed, provided by Alpha Live with commentary from Double Dash Motorsport Media. On perfect timing, I think we're ready for a race start, mate.
I think we might be, mate. So here we go again, as Andrew mentioned, crucially 5 minutes taken off of race time. We will confirm that, but that is the convention in the rules under such a situation. There is a Club 100 official in the middle of the track that makes me think we might be going around again.
Yeah, we're going around again.
So we are going around again.
Yeah, the replacement cart hasn't got back into its grid formation yet, so it'll still be we might squeeze it in on this one. We'll see. But obviously, the driver's going around the top crown. It's quite a unique thing here at Clay Pigeon. I know we have some circuits where you have a bit of an oval. Bookmore Park's an example of that. Rye House is an example of that. But you go around this, as I say, what they call the crown, and it builds the tension, unlike any other circuit I think we go to, really, in a strange way.
Yeah, and I have to say, it keeps us on our toes as well, because usually we go, oh, they're going around again, we got ages. No, we don't. They've only added like a couple more corners. As it to me, no, we are going to go around again as Bath B try and find their spot. Is Bath B one of our teams, I think, who's trying to keep themselves in the Prems today?
Potentially, yeah. Just to say as well, oh no, we are good to go then. Here we go then for race number 2 here at Clay Pigeon for round 7 of the British Universities Karting Championship 2020. Away we go then. Will it be a steadier start than we had in race number 1? Sam Spinell cuts into second place, into Billy's Blind for the first time they go. Then it's a good one at the front, but it's an absolute disaster in the midfield. And there's 2 carts actually.
I think it's Bath.
Yeah, the back half of the grid did well to avoid all of that, but 2 carts off towards the back. There's more carts spinning in the middle of the S's as well, but at the front, it's an okay start for all those towards the front of the field. They've held their positions from the grid.
Yeah, Lucas Gross has held on to the lead here once again, as we saw before the full start flag was put out, though. Diego Martinez in the Southampton A car is challenging Sam Spinell in the Coventry kart, so it's actually a very similar start to what we saw last time. I'm afraid it was Bath A who went round in turn number 1, so we've had dramas for both of the Bath karts. But this time, unfortunately, it's not been called as a full start, so that is costly for Bath A as Sam Spinell tries to have a look down the inside on Lucas Gross for the lead of the race. Diego Martinez coming under pressure from Huddersfield A, I believe it is, there. Yes, it is. It's Sam Wilson in that Huddersfield A car, and he's got himself up to 3rd place. So nice move there from Wilson in the number 8, and he's going for the 2nd place on Sam Spinell as well. He's going for it, and Spinell didn't need that. That pushed him out wide in the Coventry A car, and that's dropped him back to something like 8th or 9th spot there. Costly moment there for Sam Spinell. This is not what he wants. He wants to grasp this one by the horns and really start with a good points haul here as the Loughborough B kart, the number 6 and the number 11 of Oxford Brook C go side by side through Top Bend as they come round to finish this lap. It is Nottingham Trent B still in the lead of this one, where they began it. Diego Martinez, though, there in the Southampton A car, the number 13, chasing hard on the back of Lucas Gross, our pole sitter. Newcastle A have had a very good start to this one. Ollie Underwood up to 3rd place now in that number 24. Oh, and that's our leader off. That's our leader spinning round. Trent B off the circuit. Lucas Gross drops out from the lead of this race and hands it to Diego Martinez in the Southampton car. And again, Andrew, that looked like an unforced error.
That looked all on his own. That was quite a bizarre one down into the bottom hairpin. Other things towards the back of the field, just to tell you about. Warwick B have received an ABC takeout black flag. They've got to come in the pits, get told off and head off again. It might have been on Nottingham A, who had an incident down at Billy's Blind a few laps ago. I'm going to start calling Billy's Blind the Venus flytrap of BUKC drivers, because it's claiming a lot of souls today. But yeah, Nottingham A, not good news for them. And there's a spin as well, I can tell you, in the middle of the S's. This is off camera, and it was the number 103 involved there. And there's another driver who's got taken out. There they are.
Are we on new tyres?
Number 26.
It's the number 26. Are we on new tyres or something today, mate? There seems to be very little grip. It's Manchester A, the number 26, that's round.
I may be wrong, but I don't think so, because we had new tyres at Lyd last weekend.
It's the same.
Normally they do a couple of.
It's the same fleet these days?
Yep.
Yeah.
They do a couple of rounds.
Penalty, sorry, Andrew, just a bit of housekeeping. Penalty for the for the Sheffield A kart. The number 18, so they're going to have 4 positions docked from wherever they finish for bump and pass offences. As the number 6 of Loughborough B tries down the inside of Cambridge A at the hands hairpin and has got the job done, I want to say.
Number 5 down the inside of number 8, that's X to A on the move. I think we've been doing them a bit of a discredit this morning. I like this team. I think they're properly in this, and especially if the likes of Loughborough and Coventry, and we've not seen Brooks come to the fore yet. If they start having, not so good round 7s, the title's not going to be decided in this round. No. Let's be clear about that from the off. But if X to A can keep themselves in this fight mathematically going into that final round, for me, they've got more than a shot. They've got a good chance, because we know from history in round 8 has a tendency to be a bit mad. You're waving your arms.
I am waving my arms, because you're absolutely right. It's a great drive so far from Jensen Brown in the extra A car, and I was just like, how are our championship contenders doing? What's happened to the Brooks A car? They're in 33rd place. They are last. Tom Geeney is opening Oxford Brooks points tally for the day here at the moment, with a very, very pitiful score here that they will surely hope will become one of their drop scores. So drama here for one of our championship contenders in the Premier class, the top class. It'll be whoever wins that class will also win the BUKC overall, of course. And that is drama right there for Brooks A.
Oh, my goodness, I remember the trophy.
Yes. Southampton A's Diego Martinez leads. You are looking there. That is the number 7. That is the Brooks A car. Tom Geeney, well, it's running okay at the moment, but we didn't catch what happened to them at all in this one. But they are right at the back of this one.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their pace. A 42.8 last time around for Geeney.
It's not amazing, is it? When we consider that our race leader, Matthew Graham, was setting low 41s, high 40s in the fastest lap of the race at the moment, is a 41.623 from Ollie Underwood of Newcastle A, who's having a great drive, by the way, there in 2nd place. And actually, we do need to keep an eye on the lead battle here, mate, because it's got down to 0.4 of a second between the 13 and the 24, although, as I say, that Diego Martinez responds with a new fastest lap of the race of 41.45 dead.
I've had a message come in. It warms my heart.
Okay.
Matas misses me too.
Oh. I'm very happy for you both. There is our race leader. There is the number 13, Diego Martinez, that silver helmet and the black and orange suit there. He is your race leader. The number 24 of Newcastle A there with Ollie Underwood at the wheel, just going down the inside of some traffic there at top end. Oh, and was that contact between Diego Martinez and a spinner there? Can't quite make out in this light what number that was. Keep an eye on the penalty boards, because I think they were very close together. It may have been unconnected. Maybe that was just a Commonwealth Garden spin for, I think it was the Hertfordshire A kart he was going by. I think I read the numbers 98, but it was difficult with the sun on it. But what it means now is Ollie Underwood is right on the tail of Diego Martinez here. Newcastle A in hot pursuit of the lead of this race with Southampton A just... let's have a look at it then. Here we go. Diego Martinez is going to go down the inside. No, it was a spin completely independently. And actually Martinez did very well to avoid that. But it balked him slightly and it allowed Underwood to get right on his tail. So fair play to Diego Martinez. There was no contact there. That was a Commonwealth Garden spin in top bend for Hertfordshire A.
It was one of those situations as it went a little bit. That's a really, really tricky recovery without getting out of the kart, because drivers are coming in hot round that corner, even though you're under yellow flags. For any new drivers, especially those looking to come in for the 2020-2021 season, you are allowed to hop out the kart in that situation and do a bit of a pivot of the kart to get it pointing in the right direction. I would have probably employed that tactic if I was the number 98, and it would have saved him a little bit of time.
A little bit confused here, Andrew. The Swansea A kart clearly gestured to their right to allow the leaders through, heading towards the hairpin, but then clearly decided, actually, I've got the pace on this one, which is fair enough. We don't have blue flag rules in the BUKC here. However, Diego is going to want to get by here, and so is Ollie Underwood in that Newcastle A kart. They've both done it. That was both tidily done, and that was, to be fair, savvy driving from Swansea A not to fight that one. But here we go, straight on with our lead battle. Ollie Underwood then going for a shallower line coming out to try and get a bit of overspeed. Into the horseshoe they'll go. This fast left-hander. Got to be careful not to dip your kart there, Andrew, because the curb on the inside drops away through this right-hand bend, which these days is called Button Corner, and then into top bend here, which is actually it looks so simple, top bend, but it is so crucial to keep that kart sort of stable, pointing straight. Don't have the back kick out so that you can carry as much speed onto this straight, which they've already got to the end of through Billy's blind. And then run it into the S's here onto the Sturmey Straight, which, if my history of clay pigeon is not completely backwards, mate, once upon a time was where the start-finish line used to be for clay pigeon, and then into the hairpin. And we started it 2/3 of the way through the laps, folks, but that was a full lap of clay pigeon for you there. All the right notes, not necessarily in the right order.
Top bend for me is the hardest corner of the circuit, because it's one you've got to be really patient through. It's so easy to scrub speed, run wide, and then you've got that disadvantage all the way down to Billy's blind. So for any of our Inters and Rookies drivers tomorrow watching who are wanting some tips from a particularly average driver, don't attack top bend too much. Try and keep the tyres from sliding in that situation.
Newcastle A lost a little bit of time there, putting a lap on Hamlin in the Hertfordshire A kart, but he has resumed his pursuit now. We're looking here at Exeter A again, who have got by BUKC for 5th place. There's a change of position here. Good pick up from the folks on camera. Jensen Brown then now up to 5th place, having deposed Gareth Haynes of 5th place there. Gareth Haynes in that number 11. Oh, we've got a spinner down here at Billy's blind. You've got to be careful how you recover that one. But he's waiting for a gap in the traffic, and it's a Prem kart, and it's Bath B again. It's not a good one for Bath so far today. I'm afraid they're going to want to pick this one up in the...
Down the inside, Howard, Exeter A on Cambridge A, and that's another position for them, or is it? Fighting back are Cambridge as they go into the horseshoe, but Jensen Brown's going to have the inside line through the horseshoe. Got the move done. That was a nice overtake there from Exeter A.
Yeah, good move there on the very experienced Cambridge driver of Alistair Senior, who, as we were hearing down from on the grid at the moment, sounds like they're trying to retain a lot of their team for 2021.
The other thing that we've got to remember with Exeter, they've had a very, very strong B team, which... it's contacted! That's a spin!
Spinell.
Now that is... I think that's going to be an ABC takeout.
Can you make out the number?
I think it was the 36. I don't think it was for position, because the 13 and the 24 ahead has been spotted.
It would be Swansea A. It would be Swansea A.
It was Swansea A, 36.
Yep, so our championship leader of...
the drama of the final day. Yes. It's starting already, everybody. There's a penalty for Bath B. What's that for?
Spinning under yellows.
There you go.
But this is going to be it. Will Spinell pick up a penalty there for Coventry A? I hasten to add that Brooks A are still... They've managed to make their way up to 30 seconds.
On them now. Yep. Jensen Brown is having a brilliant race here. they are part of this. They are not outsiders for me. They are a big factor in this championship battle today. There's a black flag there for the 18 of... there it is, black flag, Coventry A number 1.
It's a black, and that is it. Visit to the pit lane, and Coventry A can kiss a good, decent, round contributing score from this race goodbye.
It's the correct decision. It's the correct decision for me from race control. It's a slam dunk one for me.
But before they're done, Andrew, we are going to be treated to a bit of a battle here. First place and fourth place in the championship, the number 1 versus the number 5. There's the Brooks C kart as well, who Brooks A could really do with this Brooks C kart taking some points off of the likes of Exeter A here, Andrew, just to cover them off. So it's crucial that Gareth Haynes here in the number 11, although he's battling away with Exeter B. Exeter B are in this as well, Andrew. They can help their sister team, can Exeter B, and they're not eligible for points, so they're in this just to have fun.
This one's really hotting up because De Montfort A are coming into this. You see them there in the blue and the yellow suit, number 16, right in the fight here. And also another championship key race, Birmingham A. Birmingham A have snuck into this. The P9. This is big for their efforts in Clubman.
Spinell in the pits now, Andrew. He is serving that black flag, so Exeter A will inherit third place. They've already done so, and everyone bumps up the order, and it is a disaster start to their racing day. This is the first race of the day because some teams sit out the races, so they weren't in race number 1. This is a disaster for Coventry A. This is a disaster for Oxford Brooks A. And to be honest with you, Loughborough A didn't have an amazing opening salvo because they had that spin. So this is incredible. There's a penalty for Birmingham C.
Coventry re-emerge out on circuit. They've come out just ahead of one of the Warwick karts and Archie Hobson. So I don't know if, I think that's going to be around 18th place. They've come out in 18th place, which is really the kind of score that you want to be looking at in a day where you're fighting for the title.
I can only conclude that Brooks A have some kind of kart issue, mate. This is...
Oh, 98 is off right in front of us in the horseshoe.
Hertfordshire A. Already had an eventful race, but here is the number 5 of Exeter A in third place then. Jensen Brown having a great drive for them here. We can't take away, there's the recovering Hertfordshire A car, as that's a re-showing of a penalty for Birmingham C.
Jensen Brown's just got to keep pushing here, because on this day we know every single point, remember every single position out on circuit is worth 1 point in the round. And we have seen things decided in this whole championship on the basis of a position here, a position there in a race somewhere through the day. Contact warning for the number 16 of De Montfort A.
Sorry, Andrew.
Just looking at the times between Newcastle and Exeter. Can Exeter pull this in? It's going to be a big job because the gap's 4.3 seconds at the moment.
Yes, and Ollie Underwood is having a great drive for Newcastle A in second place. Granted, Diego Martinez has been setting consistent fastest laps and has been able to pull the gap out. We haven't got the lead battle that we had earlier in the race, but still driving well, as here is a battle between Brooksea and De Montfort A here. Brooksea will have the inside line for the next corner. They're going to be side by side heading through Button and into Top Bend, and is that Birmingham A capitalising as well, sweeping through on the De Montfort A car? Yes, it is. So Birmingham A, that's the second time today, but the De Montfort A coming back here against the Birmingham A kart. Into Billy's blind. He's going to go down the inside. Surely has got the job done to get that back. De Montfort A back into 7th place.
I just realised it's Benjamin Boris, of course, in the Birmingham A kart, so his first race will have been ineligible. That's, that's some clever tactics there, getting a driver some running out there on circuit.
Yeah.
Here is still looking at Brown.
Johnny Knight is the driver in that number 16 De Montfort A effort, just to give him his dues, as we have 4.5 minutes left on the clock. Diego Martinez, 3.5 seconds to the good at the front for Southampton A. Ollie Underwood in that Newcastle A effort in second, and this is your third place driver, Jensen Brown, in the number 5 Exeter A kart, who, as Andrew says, is very much, they are in this championship fight. Jacob introduced the stream, mentioning the key players in this, the Coventry A effort, the Brooks A effort, the Loughborough A effort, but do not discount Exeter. You discount them at your peril today. They are still in this one, not just mathematically. I mean, mathematically there are a few other teams in it as well, but Exeter, to be fair to them, they're only 2 points off the back of Loughborough A, and they've had an absolutely sterling season. They've had an absolutely sterling couple of seasons, Andrew. The recent history of the BUKC has been very, very good for Exeter A, as we're looking here at Exeter B. And it's Ryan Luscombe who is in that extra B car and not eligible as well, Andrew. So this is a very interesting phenomenon here, that we've got some A drivers filling in slots on B teams, being points ineligible. We've spoken a little bit, mate, about, you know, B teams and C teams, sister teams. Oh, as they go either side of some traffic there in the battle between Cambridge A and Exeter B, and that's allowed Ryan Luscombe through. That has allowed Ryan Luscombe through. Now, we talk about B and C teams being able to take points off rivals. We should stress, by being points ineligible, they don't take points off of rivals here. So don't be thinking that going, oh, Exeter A have put an Exeter A driver in the Exeter B kart and they're taking points off their rivals. They're not. What they can do, Andrew, is where possible, tactically hold up rivals. But it doesn't really matter in this race because Exeter A's main rivals have all melted away.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting phenomenon we're going to have to keep an eye on here, of 18 drivers filling in slots for the B team. It's a needs-must situation, folks. Obviously, squads struggling to field full squads for this event, what with all the restrictions on travel, you know, maybe where before you would cram all 4 of you into a car to drive down here, suddenly you maybe need, you know, multiple cars and you just don't have access to them as students. You know, these kind of things can be impacting the number of drivers who they have. So it's not a surprise to see drivers filling in spare slots on other teams, but it's an interesting phenomenon in terms of championship protagonists as to whether or not those ineligible drives from 18 drivers actually feature as part of their bid for the championship. I think it's fair, mate, because all of, you know, a lot of these teams have strong B teams to back them up.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have strong B teams if they're putting A-team drivers in it. So, you know, I think it's fair and above board, but it's worth bearing in mind. There is Sam Spinell in the number 1 kart. He is not going to be taking a major haul of points in this one. 18th place currently. Better than the Brooks A kart is faring. I really can't get to the bottom of the mystery of Brooks A here. They're in 30th place.
Sorry, Howard. Great scrap going on, coming through into the S's now. It's involving Gareth Haynes in the Brooks C kart. Great driver. De Montfort is still in there. Birmingham A is still in there. They're going down into the hairpin. Well done, guys. Picking up now on the cameras. This is all over about 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. This is all 4 of them all together. And I think that was Alistair Senior in the Cambridge kart getting forced out wide there. So he's fallen off of this group.
Yeah, Alistair Senior in that Cambridge A effort. Gareth Haynes goes defensive into Button. That's going to leave him exposed, potentially coming on to the start-finish straight. If he goes tight into top bend, he has gone a bit tighter, but actually it looks to me like Johnny Knight in that number 16 De Montfort A car. He gestures to Boros behind him in the Birmingham A car to say, no, we work together here. Again, Haynes goes defensive, but is that going to leave him exposed? It is going to leave Birmingham A an opportunity to go underneath De Montfort A, and they've got the job done. The 4 ahead of the 16. Another really good opportunistic move there from a Birmingham A kart.
Yeah, and can they get past Brooks C now? Whoa, round the outside. Have a go at that from De Montfort A. Then he's going to have the inside now for the next corner, which is the horseshoe. And can they get through past Brooks as well? Oh, side by side as they go through Buttons. It's 2 by 2 like Noah's Ark at the moment. Gareth Haynes doing a great Gandalf job at the moment as we go on to the last lap.
Yeah, Diego Martinez is making his last tour of the circuit now. I'm just trying to spot him outside of our composition. He's going through the horseshoe now, Andrew, so he's actually near to ending this one. This is a fantastic battle here from 4th, 5th place downwards. We do need to keep one eye, though. Diego Martinez is coming through top bend now. He's going to come to cross the line and take a good win for Southampton A. Here goes the battle through the hairpin. Diego Martinez does take the win. A great win for Southampton there, but here we go, Birmingham A, and he's going to open the door for Johnny Knight in that De Montfort kart. They're going to be side by side here as they head towards Button Corner. Still side by side. Look for Alistair Senior trying to get away, but they've gone back to single file for top bend, and I think that's going to allow Benjamin Boris just to hold on to it, unless he gets balked by the Hertfordshire A kart as they sprint to the line. It's going to be mightily close at the line, but it is Birmingham A who takes that 6th place. So Southampton A are your winners on the Underwood. Great drive for Newcastle A to take 2nd there. Exeter A, Jensen Brown. How is that drive going to come out in the wash by the end of today? Great drive there. Ryan Luscombe, ineligible for points in the Exeter B car, in 4th place. Cambridge A finished 5th. Birmingham A in 6th. De Montfort A in 7th. 8th for Nottingham Trent B. Loughborough B in 9th. 10th for Brooks C. Huddersfield A in 11th. 12th for Brighton B. Brighton A in 13th. Then it was Brooks D, University of Wales Trinity St David B, Coventry A finishing 16th in the end. One can't surely but think they want that to be one of their drop scores if they're going to retain that number 1 plate by the end of today. Cambridge B, Loughborough C, Warwick A, Bath A round out your top 20. UEA, Nottingham A, Birmingham C, Nottingham Trent C, Birmingham B in 25th, Manchester A, Swansea A, Oxford Brooks A in 28th, Leeds B, Sheffield A, Bath B, Warwick B and Hertfordshire A. And I think with that, we're going to be able to go down to the grid with Jacob to get some reaction from the drivers for that one, and also to do a bit of previewing of the next race.
Down here in the pits we have race winner Diego Martinez de Luca. Diego, congratulations on the solid race win.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a bit about how you managed that.
It was a bit weird because at the start people were, I don't know, they were defending way too much, and so it was a bit difficult. But then once I managed to get past the guy that was in first, it was all right. Then it's just, I don't know, did I have someone behind? Because I wasn't very sure.
Not too close, but you know, you're a fast man. You stayed out there.
It got a bit difficult towards the end with back markers because they were trying to unlap themselves and stuff like that. So it was a bit weird, but it was okay.
It's a short circuit. You're going to catch up with them eventually, especially going at the speed you were going. It's been a bit of an up and down season for Southampton. Can we finish on a flourish here?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we've always had really 2 strong races, like Pascal and myself, and then we can't quite finish the weekend. So hopefully we do have a strong one this weekend. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And are you racing yourself on Sunday?
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking you won here a race here 2 years ago as well?
Yeah, yes, the 2 Dorset Championships has been in here. Yeah, I've been in both of them. I've always been close to doing something good, but then there's always that one race where someone takes you out and you can't quite finish it. But yeah.
Not in the Drivers' Championship, surely?
No, yeah. I mean, it's always that first corner at Clay Pigeon. It's impossible to get through it, but yeah, hopefully it all goes okay.
Well, good luck, and I'm sure I'll speak to you at some point on Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Diego there of Southampton. Always goes well at Clay Pigeon, as I said, won a race here 2 years ago and is now won a race here in BUKC 2020. Right, next up we've got another lightweights race, middleweights race, isn't it? Yes, I'm getting ahead of myself. We have the first ever BUKC middleweights race, a 78 kilo weight minimum. And lining up next to me, we have, I believe it's the Newcastle guys, Harry Jones of, it is Newcastle, isn't it, Harry? Harry, how's Newcastle season going?
Quite well, actually, although I've just had a bit of a mistake as captain. I've just put one of our drivers, dropped him down to our second team, and then he's just got a second, so, but...
Hasn't this kind of been a bit of a theme for Newcastle? Aren't the B team higher than the A team?
It's the A team, and the A team is the B team this year, so...
It's understandable why you'd mix up getting the good drivers in the one team and not the other.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing, so...
So did your B team or your A team just get second place?
The A team, but the A team is the second team, so... If that makes any sense at all.
I would have made that mistake myself. In fact, I don't even know which way around they are now. So, yeah, fair play to you. So which team are you?
I'm in the A, so...
Which is the B?
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you going to get on here from second row of the grid?
Well, I've never done Calais in the dry before, so I'm not expecting too much.
It's the same as in the wet, but with a bit more grip.
Well, I'll take your word for it. But we got Kyle in second as well, and so hopefully I'll just try and block everyone and let him pull away and hopefully fight for the win. So
he's in the B team that's actually the A team?
Yes. Yes. So keep an eye out for Kyle. So
let's go have a quick chat with him. Thanks for talking to us, Harry. We'll go have a quick chat for Kyle. Kyle, you're in the B team, which is actually the A team, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know how it works either. But
the B team, which is actually... No, the A team, which is actually the B team, just got a second place in the last race.
Yeah, it's not down to me, really. But yeah, the person who was in the A team should have been in the B team, because the B team's the first team, but we put him in the A. I don't know. I didn't choose the teams. But
do they teach logistics at Newcastle University?
No, not really. No, I don't know what to say.
Well, how are you going to get on from second on the grid anyway?
Yeah, hopefully well. Mum's watching at home, so impress her.
Hello, Mrs. Knight.
But yeah, no, hopefully I'll either stay second or improve on like the A team's result.
get first.
Right, well, I'm looking forward to seeing how you get on, and I'm looking forward to the diagram which explains just how your team works.
I'll call you afterwards. I'll draw it out.
Send it to me on Twitter or Instagram or something, and that'll all be sorted. Cheers for that, Kyle. Kyle Knight there of one of the Newcastle teams. Which one, I'll let you figure out for yourselves at home. Let's wander further back. Ocean Beach is in the Manchester car. We haven't spoken to Manchester yet. Ocean, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. You've got a nice big stick today, Jacob.
Don't I always?
You weren't supposed to say that on live stream.
I can say what I want. It's my live stream. How you doing? What have you been doing over lockdown?
I've been all right. I've just been chilling, you know. I got an internship, but that's about it. I mean, not enough karting. More BUKC needed.
Of course, we have dearly missed the BUKC. What's your internship doing?
Looking at the Northern Lights. It's all right.
It's going to be hard to do that working from home.
Yeah, especially in Manchester.
Well, all the best with that. What about the racing then? You're starting, what, 4th row of the grid here. You're pretty handy at the wheel of the car. What's your hopes for this race?
I know, I've never been clay before, but I mean, it looks like a pretty easy track, so hopefully should at least improve.
There you have it, ladies and gents, a pretty easy track. If this man does not finish on the podium, he is a liar.
Yeah, definitely.
Ocean Beach, everybody, thank you very much for having a chat with us. Let's wander further back down the grid. Let's see if we can pick up one of our championship contenders. It's not been a good day for our championship contenders so far. The first I've come to is Mr. Tom Thickpenny over here for Loughborough. Tom, we had a brief chat just now off circuit, but tell us, what's your hopes and dreams for this race and Loughborough's championship?
I think ideally we need the top 3, to be honest, because you've got a back grid slot later on, so we need 2 good races now, because it's obviously hard to get a top result from the back. So, but the other guys are having trouble as well, so see what happens.
It's kind of been a competition of who can fumble it the least so far today. Yeah. Are you going to fumble, or are you going to seize the opportunity?
Seize it, but on the last day there's so much. It always happens, so just got to try and do as little of it as possible. We'll see. Speak to you after, hopefully.
Let's hope so. There's always drama in the BUKC, and just as we say that, the BUKC fires up the engines and gets ready to get going once more. Right, as I said, this is the first ever BUKC middleweight race. 78 kilos, the minimum. Every driver led it up to meet that specific requirement. It's the one and only one we've got this round. Joe Fowler there going out for Coventry, and I believe Matt Taylor for Oxford Brooks A. All 3 of our championship contenders in this one. Andrew Howard, talk us through race number 3.
I have missed BUKC grid interviews. I really have. Thank you, Jacob, down on the grid. Entertaining stuff down there as ever. Let's take you through the grid for the inaugural Inters Weight BUKC sprint race. 78 kilos, the weight limit for this one. So for your grid, as they're doing the warming up laps, some of them learning the track, no doubt. Ethan Herford starts this one for pole for Birmingham B with Kyle Knight alongside for Newcastle B. Which is we're going to just call them the first team of the Newcastle squad, and then the second team, quote unquote, of the Newcastle squad is the A team. It's all right, folks. It's not too bad. Harry Jones starts for them from 3rd. Bournemouth A have Rory Hudson going for them from 4th. Ben Brewster of Nottingham A and Chris Miles for Warwick B make up row number 3. Row 4 is going to be Ocean Beach of Manchester A. You heard it from Jacob himself, folks. If he's not on the podium, he's a liar. Patrick Trent Jennings alongside for Bath B. Aidan Lee for Brooks C. And Kieran Woodhouse for University of West of England A. Round out your top 10. George Watson for Hertfordshire A. And just there at the end was Fraser Glaseby for Nottingham Trent C. Brighton B's Martin Machak and Leeds A's Kieran Harrison. Don't forget Leeds A, another team trying to take home the clubman's victory here today in the championship. Nottingham Trent A have Andrew Wong, and Joe Perkins starts alongside for Warwick A on row 8. Row 9 is going to be Jeremy Todd for Swansea A and Tom Thickpenny for Loughborough. You heard him say they could do with a top 3 here because they've got some tough grid spots coming up in the random grid system. They need some good points here. UWTSDB have Ewan Howells, going for them, and Birmingham will see a Max Wade to round out your top 20. Row 11 is Edward Vernon Stroud for Leeds B, and Benjamin Watkin for Loughborough B. Row 12, excuse me, I can do maths, is Dom Bessel for De Montfort B, and Sam Cornwall for Bath A. Row 13 is going to be Aaron Walsh for Huddersfield A, and Patrick Arsiuch for Brighton A. Southampton A have Carlos Bochetto there for them, and Matthew Taylor will be needing to get some good points for Brooks A. So we have got our first race of the day that has Coventry A, Loughborough A and Brooks A, although I don't believe Exeter A are in this one, so not all 4 of them championship players in this one. Another championship player, though, is Joe Fowler in the Coventry A kart there, starting 29th, and crucially, this could be Matthew Taylor has backup in the form of Angus Fender in the Brooks B kart, starting 30th. Row 16 is going to be Sam Gerrard for Cambridge A, Ryan Davis starting alongside for UWTSD A, and then on the back row of the grid, row 17, Josh White for Birmingham A and Tom Newnham in the Imperial A kart. That's how they line up then for this Intersweight race. Race number 3 of round 7 of the 2020 British Universities Karting Championship. Myself, Howard Mitchell, and Andrew Mather of Double Dash Motorsport Media in the comms box for you, as I think we might be good for a start this time round as they come through. We're going to look to see the pace kart peeling off to drivers right. Looks like they are going to be good for the start. So Ethan Herford of Birmingham B in the number 32 alongside his Carl Knight in the Newcastle B kart. Eyes on the lights, engine notes rise, and we're away. It's a good start for Rory Hudson.
On the inside.
There's a lot of loading, and there's a spin from the second from Birmingham B, and it's going to be several karts off there as someone who we've had the pleasure of doing some comms with for the BUKC in the past there. I just saw mate James Johnston weaving his way through, and that is a gorgeous new lid, Mr. Johnston, keeping it with the green colour scheme as he does. It's going to be a full start. There is the full start flag, the yellow downward chevron on a green background, and yeah, that was a bit chaotic. All drivers look to be okay and getting underway again. We're going to get a bit of a replay here. It started very early up the pack, Andrew, with Ethan Herford going into a spin, but as you say, there was a lot of loading.
Yeah, I'm going to put it straight down to pole side of the grid. That was their fault, and yeah, you see the heads bobbing as the loading's coming from probably about 8, 9, 10 carts back, and that's the result.
Yeah.
Try again, drivers. That was poor.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's what
first time round. Nice
just
avoided,
went,
Mr.
now I can show off the new helmet design. Here it is. Good one, James. There in. He's not eligible for points, is he? What? I can't remember which kart he's in now. He did tell us.
Huddersfield kart, isn't he?
Oh yes, he is. He is in the Huddersfield kart. Yes. So it's not Aaron Walsh as I called it. But yeah, we will form.
Talking ineligibles, the whole of the Birmingham C team is ineligible.
Ah, okay, interesting.
You can tweet us at Double Dash MM with the hashtag I am an irritating ineligible too, to let us know if you are also ineligible and what race you're doing, so I can mark you off the spreadsheet to do.
If you would like to rent some processing power of Andrew Mather's brain, there's none left. It's all being used to run our spreadsheet of doom today.
Overclocked.
You are overclocked. Are these drivers overclocked? Let's see how they get on for a second start. Away we go. Ethan Herford leads them away. Looks to me like there's less loading this time. It's a good start from the anti-pole side of the grid, and indeed, Kyle Knight straight to the lead, round the outside, going into Billy's blind. Amazing start there from Newcastle B.
Colin's gone on the inside, and there's a couple towards the back, including James Johnston, our ineligible Huddersfield driver.
Yeah.
And the number 3's gone round as well. So
that's
being
Oxford Brooks B. So Brooks A have lost their rear gunner, starting towards the back in many ways there, as they all file their way into the horseshoe for the first time. Coming through, and we got a spin. No, we haven't. Sorry, we haven't got a spinner there. I don't know what caught my eye there.
Someone just restarting. They're going to get overtaken by Brooks B in a moment, or just get in front of them. But overstart finish end of lap 1. Then Newcastle B, Newcastle A. It's a Newcastle 1-2 at the moment ahead of Manchester A. Ocean Beach says it's an easy circuit apparently. As the Venus flytrap of Clay Pigeon has caught another driver out. We'll try and work out who that is at the moment. Thank you very much. Bournemouth A as well. We mentioned how they're not fighting for anything really in terms of a big pot at the end of the season. They're going to be in the middle of the clubman ranks, and they've just gone down the inside. In fact, no, that was Brooks C on the move. Brooks C have got through and into third place, and who's that off down at the bottom hairpin?
It is down at the hairpin, as there's a penalty for Nottingham Trent A. I will call the number as they come through, mate, on that one. It's going to be the number. It's going to be the number Howard needs to get his eyes tested. University of West of England A, the number 55, who took the win in race one.
BUKC flying, Howard, really going strongly. They're now up to second place, having a great run here. Remember, for the Brooks teams today, it's all about trying to take points off other championship rivals.
Good point.
At the moment, it's just get yourself up towards the front of the grid and front of the order and see how things shake out. So this is a great run so far from their driver,
Aidan Lee.
Thank you.
In the kart for that one, as there's a penalty for Bath B. Wow, it's not a good day so far for Bath University. They really got to pick this up. Ocean Bache going for a battle here with Aidan Lee, side by side, heading towards Billy's blind. He's going to have the inside line, but is he going to go deep and allow the BUKC kart back in? Yes, he is. The BUKC kart is going to nip back in. Classic exchange at Clay Pigeon, that one, Andrew. You go down the inside of Billy's blind, you go too hot, you open the door and allow them to tuck under before the S's.
Yep. Maybe it's not an easy circuit to get right. But keep an eye out for that number 92, as you mentioned, Bournemouth A, middle of Clubman's. That's probably where they're going to stand, but they've got some quick drivers and they'll be looking for individual race results. This is a great opportunity for them to do so, the debutants in the BUKC this season. They've been stellar. They've been brilliant for me. What can they do here at Clay Pigeon? Over, start, finish they go then. So it's Newcastle B's Kyle Knight leading ahead of Oxford BUKC. There they are in the number 11, Aidan Lee. The Carlin Motorsport suit on there. Ocean Bache, popular figure, in third place.
Rory Hudson as well there, Andrew, in the number 92 Bournemouth kart there, who's been he's been a really crucial part of their effort this season, hasn't he?
Leeds and the number 56 are off. This is again down at Billy's blind.
It's Imperial A.
Tom Newman.
It could be either of the Leeds karts, mate, because they were in very close proximity to each other. So keep an eye on this, because Leeds A, of course, as there's a black flag for Imperial for ABC takeout. So Imperial judged to be at fault of whatever transpired down there at Billy's blind. Our top four are closing up nicely here as they come onto a new lap.
Leeds B.
It is Leeds B.
No, it's Leeds A. Both Leeds B, both Leeds karts have gone. Leeds B have disappeared off time, but I think it might have been both of them. I think they double killed them.
Dramatic moment there for Leeds, if so, as Ocean Bache goes down the inside of Kyle Knight in the Newcastle B kart. Have we mentioned the change of the lead? Indeed, Aidan Lee leads this one for BUKC, and now Rory Hudson of Bournemouth A are battling with Kyle Knight of Newcastle B.
With Newcastle A rather. Unless I need me eyes testing as well. No, I do need me eyes testing. Sorry, you're right. That is Kyle Knight there. Too many Newcastle karts up towards the front of the field.
He does have Harry Jones in as backup though, right on his tail. So the 24 following the 39, and as we had explained to us in extremely clear detail on the grid, Newcastle B, the premier team amongst the two of them. I can't use the word premier either. I can't use the word premier either because they are both prem class. Okay, the first and second team. Here though is your battle for the race lead now. Aidan Lee in the number 11 Oxford BUKC kart with Ocean Bache of Manchester A. And that's a great exit from top bend. They're going to be side by side down the straight, or he's going to at least have a nose alongside. There's a left-hand kink, and then it's Billy's blind again. He thinks better of it though. He goes back into racing behind them for now.
Great defensive work there from Aidan Lee. That was fair. And they're pulling away from Rory Hudson. They do kind of need to work together though at the moment, but is Bache looking down the inside? Yes, he is. Great move by Ocean Bache. Takes the lead for Manchester A. Taps the helmet to say, come on, let's work together. Let's try and gallop away from Rory Hudson and that Bournemouth A kart. But Ocean Bache to the lead here at Clay Pigeon as there's a spinner on the last corner. I'm having the same problem as you now, Howard. It is the number 49 who had trouble there and has got going again and is going to re-emerge just in front of the leaders. There it is, lead change confirmed. Manchester A, number 26, leading now by 0.476 of a second over BUKC. Bournemouth A in third, Loughborough A crucially though up to fourth place. This is good. This is what they need for their championship battle today. Newcastle B, the first team that is, in fifth place, and Brighton B having a strong run as well in sixth.
And Tom acknowledged this on the grid. He said, I think I need a top three, Jake. We know that we've not got the best grid spots coming up in the next couple of races. Joe Fowler of Coventry A is in this one, don't forget. He's currently up to 14th place, and then Brooks A are up to 10th place as well. It's Matthew Taylor in the kart for them, don't forget. So they are moving up the order. I'm not sure if they're moving up the order enough for this. Here is Matt Taylor, the distinctive helmet with the Union flag on the top, currently chasing after Nottingham Trent A in 7th place. Exeter A, the other one of our key players in this Premier Class Championship, not in this race, remember. They will be in all of the other ones in this round. 2 rounds to come to you today, rounds 7 and 8, as is standard in the BUKC. There was a time when we would have a single stub round on the very last day of the championship, and then squeeze in a drivers' championship in the afternoon, but that's not how things are done now. Now we have a full finals weekend. Big effort from the organisers here to ensure that there is the full 3 days of running, with the final round of the Inters Championship tomorrow and the Drivers and Graduates Championship being run on Sunday, all of course in compliance with the latest guidelines from UK government as well as Motorsport UK, who have been doing a lot of hard work themselves to make sure that this sport can keep going and get underway again in a very difficult year for everybody. Matthew Taylor now gets by the Brighton B kart. That was the number 50 kart, so I think he's up to 7th place at least now, possibly 6th. Have to check that as they come through. It is 7th place that he's up to. And Nottingham may have followed them through as well. They're having a decent drive as well. Is Ben Brewster in that Nottingham A kart, and they're now chasing Andrew Wong in that Nottingham Trent A kart, the number 17. In fact, Matthew Taylor's got by, excuse me. Matthew Taylor is now past the number 17, could just see on that shot as they headed towards the Hans hairpin. So Matthew Taylor up to 6th place now, and chasing former race leader Andrew in the form of Kyle Knight in that number 39 Newcastle B.
Yeah, Kyle just trying to get a bit of rhythm together and recover in the last 12 minutes of this race. And number 7 having a look then. This is a big move as well. Matthew Taylor down the inside into Billy's blind. Has he held it well? Of course he has. He's Matthew Taylor. That's a brilliant move by last year's Drivers' Super Final champion. And that, as you say, is always the risk with Billy's blind, because you feel like you need to, it's a big braking zone. I need to outbrake the driver on my outside. What you actually need to do is just hold the position and get the move done when you go into the S's. You can kind of break even with them, and as long as you don't understeer and lose tyre grip, you can just hold your opponents to the outside, especially as the track kind of cambers away as you go into the approach into the S's.
It's one of my favourite moves to do in a Club 100 go-kart, to be honest with you, mate.
Ooh, contact there between the 17 and 39. That was a little bit robust from Trent A.
Yeah. So,
will that be adjudged to be an ABC bump and pass? Because there was contact and there was a bit of a lunge down into Billy's.
There is Tom Thickpenny
change
in the Loughborough A, and that is a change for 3rd. Tom Thickpenny in Loughborough A gets past Rory Hudson in that Bournemouth A kart, and that is crucial. Again, more points for Loughborough A in a race where some of their rivals are having to work their way up all the way up the field. I have to mention, mate, that this is a dramatic one in terms of...
3 karts spinning down at the horseshoe. Sorry, mate.
Okay.
2 of them have got going again. One of them is still trying to recover back on circuit. I'm not quite sure who it is there. It is. It's the number 22.
That is Brighton A.
Oh, dear. So Brighton A fall down the order then.
So this is a significant one potentially in terms of clubman standings, mate. Birmingham A currently running in 21st. And I think I spotted it's Josh White we've got in the kart for that one, but Leeds A down in 26th. These are the things that could come to count by the end of the day in the clubman standings. Birmingham A and Leeds A, your main players in that championship, with Sheffield A, I'm not sure distant 3rd is correct, but further off. They need a particularly good day to take the fight in that title.
Leeds will be fuming in this race, so I've not had it fully confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that it was the case. Is it all alongside there into the S's? That move get done.
Yes, it did.
Yep, the 14 on the 17, so that's Cambridge A past Trent A now. Now Leeds A losing both of their karts on the same lap. And considering their proximity, I'm going to hazard a guess it was the same incident we saw Imperial A get a black flag for.
Yeah,
that is a real kick in the nether regions at this early stage of the day, especially with some of their rivals scoring well at the moment.
Sam Gerrard, there in the 14, having a really good race. He's come from a long way back, as behind him the battling continues between Nottingham Trent A and Brighton B and Nottingham A, but it's a good drive this from Sam Gerrard. He's come from a long way back on the grid, and we haven't mentioned Cambridge much, Andrew, because they're not really, they're mathematically in the championship hunt, but they're a bit far back. However, they could sneak a podium in the championship and all sorts if they have a good day today. So it's a good drive this from Sam Gerrard in that number 14 Cambridge kart to have hauled himself up to 6th place so far.
Sorry, mate. Keep an eye on Thickpenny. His pace is very, very good. He's taking about 0.3 a lap out of the leaders. The gap is now down to 2.1. And we've got 8 minutes of this one to go. This could be a bit of a tight finish as Thickpenny closes in on the top two runners.
And as Matthew Taylor sets a new fastest lap of the race of 41.197, he is in pursuit of Rory Hudson in that number 92 Bournemouth A car. He wants to get even more points here for the Brooks A squad. There is Tom Thickpenny in the number 2 car in 3rd place. He's going to try and get onto the back of Brooks C. But if he does manage it, by the way, this is a difficult one for the Brooks C car. They'd love a race win. We were covering this on the DDMM podcast the other day, mate. Brooks C, to our knowledge, has not yet had a win, but they have an important job to do as the sister kart to the Brooks A.
Problem for Birmingham A, pointed out by Rihanna Percox on YouTube. Did Birmingham take each other out? I don't know, Rihanna, but Birmingham A did just fall. They had a slow lap. They lost about 8 seconds, and they're now down in 20 seconds. That's big news in terms of clubmen.
Still ahead of Leeds A, though. Birmingham A in 22nd, Leeds A in 26th. They're still, for the moment, ahead of their Clubman Championship rival. But this is a key thing here, Andrew. Ocean Beach for Manchester A, nothing to lose. Go for it, try and get that win. Aidan Lee in the Brooks C kart, yeah, you want to win, but if you can deny points for Loughborough C, or even hold up Loughborough A, excuse me, or even hold up Loughborough A enough for Brooks A to get involved,
worth it.
It's worth it. It is worth it, and this is where we might see the tactics come into play for our multiple Brooks teams. The 4-team effort from Brooks, with 3 of them in the Prems class, and Oxford Brooks D, one of our teams, trying to make it up into those top 4 positions in Clubman's by the end of today, such that they should get automatic promotion into the Prems class for 2021, the new promotion relegation system that we've got going here, as Cambridge A have dropped down the order. Good spot, Andrew. Sam Gerrard, who was running very strongly in the top 10, is now down to 13th place, so some kind of drama has befallen that effort for our 5th place championship runners. Can't see any fresh penalties coming in, so not sure, although this has been a day where already, mate, we've seen some uncharacteristic mistakes out there.
Yeah, we have seen a couple of penalties out there already. All the results provisional, of course, is looking down the inside of the 22. That is not for position.
No.
That's for Tom Thickpenny. That's a back marker. It's going to be Brighton A. It's Patrick Harriage, isn't it, who had got taken out earlier on in the race, but is not a slow driver. But Thickpenny's got a good run. That's what we're talking about with top bend. Patrick maybe just attacked it a little bit too much, and with that patience from Thickpenny, he was able to slip by on the run past start finish.
And it's tough for traffic to get out the way there as well, Andrew, because you really do want to be on rails there. That is, you want to survive that corner if you're traffic, and then let the leaders by cleanly on the straight. But it does mean that leaders can get bolted in that corner.
Change for 9th position. Bath A have got ahead of Nottingham A, so for their hopes of getting a top 10 in Premier, the best results they've had in a good few years, that's a good move for them. But Tom Thickpenny's gap is down to 1.4 at the last check, but Ocean Beach is starting to get on it here. He's just done a 16.462 second sector, his fastest of the race so far, but so is Matthew Taylor. Purple in sector 2 from Brooks A, and purple for the whole lap, 41.018. Here come Brooks, here come Loughborough. There is Rory Hudson in the number 92 on your screen in the blue, white and yellow suit, but if you look a little bit further back, you'll see the reigning super final champion Matthew Taylor on an absolute flyer.
This looks like a good lap to me though for Tom Thickpenny, Andrew. I'm going to be interested to see the gap between him and Aidan Lee in third. The top 5 are basically all closing up here, and it's getting very tasty as we head into the last 4 minutes of the race. Brighton B, I can't recall if they're points eligible in this one. They're having a good one. Look over the shoulder from Rory Hudson there. He'll see the 22 of Brighton A, but it is the number 2 of Loughborough A, the number 7, of Brooks A, with Matthew Taylor at the wheel that he needs to worry more about, as Matthew Taylor will try and put a lap on Patrick Archuk, who's had, as we mentioned, a suboptimal run here. Not lacking on pace, but unfortunately went round at the horseshoe. I can see, though, Andrew out of McComb's position a few corners ahead of this one, though. Tom Thickpenny now is all over the back of Aidan Lee as they come into top bend. This is going to be crucial. Can BUKC hold off Loughborough? They're side by side. Sorry to talk about something not on the stream here. They'll come through here. There's our race leader, and there's the battle over second place, and this is crucial. BUKC need to do their A-team a massive favour here. Aidan Lee there in the blue Carlin suit needs to hold off Tom Thickpenny as much as he can. It doesn't really matter if Ocean Beach gets on up the road, to be honest, and takes a brilliant win as it would be for Manchester. The goal here is for BUKC to hold Loughborough up. The oldest running rivalry, let's not forget, in the BUKC.
And change for fourth. BUKC have got through, so this is really, really key now for Aidan Lee to play the team game. Let's see what it's like down towards Billy's blind. It's good run from both of them. Thickpenny going to try and go to the inside now, going to be side by side. He's going to try and put Lee on the inside. Oh, there's a little bit of a push there. He's through. Is he through? He's going to have to hold it round the outside. It's the S's. Aidan Lee still underneath. Great defending from Aidan Lee. Doing a fantastic job. Thickpenny doesn't like it, but for me, that was all fair, Howard.
Look at it. It's crucial. Matt Taylor in the number 7, as you mentioned last lap, Andrew, has dispensed with Bournemouth A's Rory Hudson, and this is it. Now on the track, 2 of our key protagonists battling over third place. Tom Thickpenny is there in third in this sunshine helmet, and Matt Taylor there with the Union flag, and he's going for it top bend, and he's done it. What a move from Matthew Taylor. A bit of a moment there for Tom Thickpenny as there's a black flag for Cambridge A. That's bad to worse for Sam Gerrard, and that has been awarded for taking out another competitor. So some drama has befallen that Cambridge car there. One notes that you can get that penalty even if you yourself come to a stop in the incident, so maybe that's related to the incident that put them out of the top 10 earlier on as well. Maybe they came to a stop as well, as there's a cone penalty for Bathby as well, just to rub a bit more salt into that Bath wound that's been opening up over the course of the day so far. But crucial battle here, and Rory Hudson, Andrew, a driver with nothing to lose here. He just wants good points for that 92 Bournemouth team. He's now eyeing up Loughborough A's Tom Thickpenny as well, and Matt Taylor. Look at the Brooks carts working together.
Got to swap
the carts. 11 and 7, expect to see them swap round, or maybe work together to get onto the back and then swap round towards the end. But this is brilliant stuff from the Brooks team. This is why they're one of the strongest squads. As I say that, the Brooks B cart gets the penalty. That, in all, I hope no disrespect to them, that is the best Brooks cart to get a penalty right now. They're not in this pack.
Thickpenny down the inside, though, into the horseshoe. The traffic is coming into it side by side. The championship rivals, Brooks, and it's still the Warwick cart that's getting, was bulking Taylor there. Taylor to the inside of Thickpenny, the 3-1 going into top bend, and Taylor was just about held on. And here comes Rory Hudson now as well. We're going to go on to the last lap. This is going to be a key race, the 35. No blue flags, doesn't know that he's being part of a big story in terms of the championship here. Hudson to the inside of Thickpenny. Can Thickpenny hold it around the outside into the Yetis? No, he can't. And falls down a position. Great stuff there from Rory Hudson. But this has been played brilliantly by Brooks, but you've still got to switch them, boys. You have to do it. On a day of all days, you've got to switch the A and the C cart. You never know what that could mean. On the last lap, Ocean Beach, where is he? He's coming around the final corner now. What a drive. He said it's an easy circuit. He made it look easy out there. Ocean Beach takes the victory here in race 3.
There he is.
No, they don't switch them. Wow. Brooks C finish ahead of Brooks A. For me, Howard, that's a mistake. You can't afford to take points off your own championship fighting team there, but Brooks have done exactly that.
I won't lie, I can't I don't think that's the right call. I do not think, it's no disrespect to the Brooks C cart, they're up there on merit, and I know we've been talking about a lot of B and C teams not being eligible for points. Not in the case of Brooks. They have a full squad here, at least for their top 3 teams. That is an interesting call. And well,
unless they're ineligible, of course.
No, well, this is the thing. Aidan Lee, I can't see him in the cart for any other races. I think Brooks C are here legitimately points eligible.
Yeah.
If so, well, that's
Loughborough A on the road got back past Bournemouth A for 4th.
Yep.
Didn't see how Tom Thickpenny did it, so I can't say whether it was fully clean or not. I've not seen anything flash up on my timing screen yet, but that could be a crucial move. But here's your provisional result for race 3 then. Manchester A win, great race from Ocean Beach. Brooks C second, Brooks A third, Loughborough A fourth, so good results there for 2 title contenders. Bournemouth A fifth, Brighton B sixth, Coventry A seventh, that's a good result as well from towards the back of the grid. Trent A in 8th, Bath A 9th and Nottingham A 10th. We're going to wrap it up there.
I want to make one point, mate.
Go ahead.
Birmingham A and Leeds A are top 2 in Clubman's, finishing a 10th of a second apart, 17th and 18th. It's tasty in both of our classes. Let's head down to Jacob.
Thank you very much, Howard. I am just mingling with the drivers. I'm making my way over to Manchester's Ocean Beach. I'll let you get your number plate off and your copious amounts of lead. Copious amount. Well, the next person's got to get in, Ocean, so take it off, all right? God, students. Right, come over here at a socially safe distance. Not too close. Congratulations.
I told you it was an easy track.
No, I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd say that. I thought, do you know what? He's going to come off, he's going to say, I thought it was easy. And, well, you made it look easy, Ocean.
Yeah, well, it was interesting. Like, the surface is really slippy, so a lot of you had to drive it differently to a lot of tracks, but it was, I got pretty lucky at the start, had a good race, and then I think the guys behind me just got caught up a bit, and I know I wasn't the fastest on track, but I don't really care.
Well, you completed the race in the fastest time, so by that definition, you were the fastest man on track.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Hopefully I'm not underweight now.
Yes, let's hope that you get on the scales and you weigh 78 kilos. You look like you got just about enough lead.
Yeah, no, I did weigh like 4 times before the race, so it would be really awful if I'm underweight now.
All the best then. So Manchester's season, let's say, has been up and down, but what can we expect to see from you guys for the rest of the weekend?
Well, I mean, I'm starting pole next round, so hopefully this again, but we've got a decent lineup, so hopefully we'll be happy if we stay where we are in the championship, but this is more for fun and hopefully building on it for next year.
And are you racing on Sunday?
I'm not, unfortunately, no.
Why not?
Because money, we've only got 1 car and not everyone wants to do drivers, so.
I'll get a lift home.
Nah, sorry, it's alright. Where do you live?
Newport.
Where?
Newport.
I mean, it's not really on the way though, is it?
It's not, but I do it for you.
Nah, so I'm alright. Thanks, but no thanks.
Fine.
If you pay for my entry as well, I'll do it.
That's a bit much. As much as I like you, you know, paying for your entry and taking you all the way back to Manchester. Yeah, we're just not that close, are we?
No. I just want to say, shout out my mum and my girlfriend, who aren't watching, but they will be one day.
2 very lucky ladies to have a man like you in their life. Ocean, thanks for chatting with us. Go get yourself weighed. Ocean Beach, the winner of race number 3, the middleweights race. Now, we are moving on to the heavyweights race. I earlier made a mistake in saying that the heavyweights was race number 2. We've had 2 lightweight races. That was the middleweight race. And now we've got 2 heavyweight races coming up. Drivers are still being weighed just behind the camera over there, so we can't yet let anyone else into the dummy grid. Let's go over to that queue and try and grab an interview with one of the drivers from that last race, who we can find waiting to get themselves weighed. Who have we got at the back here? Let's jump in with this young man. Who have we got here?
Ben Watkin.
Ben, what unit are you from?
Loughborough B.
Of course you are. How could I forget? We've talked to Loughborough A plenty of times over the course of the morning, but how Loughborough B and I think C are in mains as well? How are they getting on?
Well, we're doing all right so far. Julia had a decent result in the previous race, but kind of struggled a bit in that one. Never driven here before, but getting used to it, so hopefully the second race will go a bit better this afternoon.
Where are you starting your race this afternoon?
Starting 5th on the grid this afternoon.
So prime position to do a little bit better then?
Yeah, hopefully do some damage at the front.
What did you make of the track? Do you like it? We've had plenty of people say they haven't been here before, but I haven't asked if people actually like it.
Yeah, it's quite fast and sweeping. Yeah, you've got to keep your speed up, otherwise it costs you dearly, especially into the closing section and along the main straight, but it's a good track to drive. It's fairly enjoyable.
That's good. And you're racing here again this weekend after today?
No, I don't think I'll be no, I'm not doing the Drivers' Champs, I'm just doing this one today, yeah.
Well, make sure you get yourself in next year, so it's not to be missed.
Yeah, hopefully I will. 'Cause just first year this year, so just getting used to the BUKC and then hopefully do it next year again.
That's what we like to hear. All the best on the scales, you're the last up. Right then, the drivers are now lining up for the next race, and I've spotted Jake O'Sullivan of Birmingham B, I believe. We'll let him get his number plate and lead. He doesn't need lead. It's a transponder, he's putting a transponder on. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm not too bad. I thought you put lead on then. I just saw you on the scales. You don't need that.
Oh, that would be a joke, wouldn't it, mate? Yeah. Yeah. Too far ahead, that's what it is. Yeah.
How's your stay in the hotel? I saw Jake checking into the hotel yesterday. How was your night? Did you get a good night's sleep?
Yeah, it was a lovely night's sleep, actually. Yeah, it was quite comfortable. How about yourself? Did you hear anything through the walls?
No, nothing at all, actually. I don't know if you were trying to make me hear you, but no, undisturbed sleep, actually. You dragged your girlfriend down as well to this cold track.
Sorry, say that again?
You dragged your girlfriend down to this cold track as well.
Yeah, she's not happy. 5th year in a row I had to drag her to finals weekend, and she's always shivering in the car, so that's what she's doing right now, I think. But oh well.
Well, I'd rather be doing that than shivering out here, if I'm honest with you. So let's talk a bit about Birmingham. How's Birmingham's day going so far? We're on, the 4th race of the day now.
Birmingham's doing all right. We've not got a C team properly. They're all points ineligible, so that's fun. The A team and the B team seem to be doing all right, apart from the restart helped quite well because the B team started second and got binned on the first restart. So it was nice to get them to come back. But yeah, they're doing okay. Just try and get some points. We're joint on points with Leeds A for the Clubman's Championship of A team. So just got to watch out where they are.
And how about you yourself? How are you going to do in this race?
Oh, hopefully that way. I'm racing with the C team, so I'm points ineligible now, so this is just a bit of fun. That's why I haven't led up, you see, so, I'll lead up next time when I'm legal.
Well, I wish you all the very best for this. Jimbo's there correcting everything on your kart for you, because you've done it wrong, apparently. But have a good race.
Thank you.
Let's drop back a bit. We got Amy Jurger in the Sheffield kart. Sheffield have had a bit of a nightmare. Amy, what's going on? Where's all your drivers?
Isle of Man.
What are they doing there?
He lives there.
That's one of them. You've only got 2, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it was just, I don't know, we've been struggling for numbers all year, really. Bit of a nightmare, but we've got a few more freshers involved this year, so hopefully next year we'll be fighting with a full team.
Can you build a strong squad? Can we get maybe a Sheffield A and B team next year?
Maybe, we've had a few and they look pretty good, so yeah, I hope so.
Could you say to any prospective people watching now, going to Sheffield Uni next year and thinking, I might get involved in a bit of motorsport, what would you say to people who want to get involved in the BUKC?
Well, we've got more money this year, so it's a bit cheaper because we've struggled with that in the past, but it should be a bit cheaper for everyone next year, so that's a good incentive for everyone.
There you are, guys. If you want cheap karting, go to Sheffield University. But the BUKC in general, how fun is it to be a part of this championship?
It is really fun, and it's so nice to just turn up and drive, and it is really good racing, especially at this track. It's just really close. It's just fun.
Are you familiar with Clay Pigeon then?
I raced it in Easy Kart when I was in juniors, and I think I'd done seniors as well, but that was 3 or 4 years ago, so not recently, but...
Have you got high hopes for today? Are you racing on Sunday as well?
No, I'm not racing on Sunday. I should have, but I don't know. It's quite a long way from Sheffield, and we start on Monday, so I was like, maybe not.
So it's the day you got to get us a win then?
Yeah. I'll try.
Where are we starting here? Is this the better of you 2 grid positions today?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm starting further back in my next one.
And have you had a look who else is in your race? Do you fancy yourself?
Few painted helmets, so I mean everyone looks pretty good, but I don't know, we'll see.
Well, I wish you all the best, and hopefully we'll speak to you after the race.
Cool, thank you.
Sheffield University there. Right, I'm going to make a point of speaking to Oxford Brooks A this time, and it just so happens to be that it's Kyle Morby. Kyle, I haven't even spoken to Oxford Brooks A yet today, and I feel like I'm neglecting you. Who better to talk to than yourself?
Yeah, that's a bit rude, isn't it? I'm disappointed in you.
I can wholeheartedly apologise, especially after that Instagram story this morning saying that you've missed me. How you doing, Kyle?
Yeah, not bad, you?
Pretty good. You're ready to go racing, but just quickly, Can Oxford Brooks win the title today?
I can't hear what you're saying. Hopefully.
There we go. Oxford Brooks say Kyle Morby heading out on track for this one. This will be the first of our heavyweights races. We've got 2 of these coming up. Andrew, Howard, back to you in the comms box.
Thank you, Jacob, again. I was saying at the...
He's on form today.
I don't think you were in the box when I said this for race 3, mate, but I have missed these interviews. I have missed them. So yes, we're in a heavyweight race, which, unless my commentary colleague is about to gesture at me to say I'm wrong, is an 82 kilo limit.
Correct.
So we are up to an 82 kilo weight limit. That's why you saw so many carts leading up there. Let's take you through the grid then for the penultimate race of this round. Let's not forget, albeit we have 2 rounds to bring you here today. We're getting through them nice and, well, we're getting through them quite quickly. Time flies when you're having fun and all that. James Ireland will start this one for Loughborough A. So I know Tom Thickpenny said that they have some awkward grid slots to deal with. This is their best one, actually. On pole there for Loughborough A, Sam Cobb, very experienced driver. Possibly the most experienced driver we've got here today, actually, in the BUKC. Starting second for Cambridge A. Dante Dillon for Nottingham Trent A and Sam Stevens for Warwick A make up row number 2. And then it's Sam Lovelace, quick driver there for De Montfort A, with Jake O'Sullivan, not points eligible, but very much a factor towards the front of this one at the start in the Birmingham C kart there. Jared Wilson-Godber starts for Cambridge B, and we heard there from Ami Jurga for Sheffield A. They're making up row number 4. Row 5 is Ainsley Martin for UWTSD-B and Max Reed for Loughborough B. Callum Porter for Brooks D has Harry Farnhill alongside in the UWTSD-A effort. Moving on to row number 7. In 13th place, it's going to be, there we go, Harris Warburton in the Imperial A kart. Ryan Williams for Coventry A starting in 14th there. Going to be an important one for him to try and improve on that grid slot. Aaron Leishman for Newcastle B and Vinayak Vasudev for De Montfort B make up row number 8. Row 9 is Kyle Morby there. He also needs to move forward for the Brooks A team, and Bournemouth A's Dennis Danilov as well. On row number 10, it's going to be Exeter B's Kamil Chikowski and William Wren of Warwick B. Nottingham A have Henry Jackson going for them, with Greg Maylard starting for UEA on row number 11. Row 12 is going to be Lewis Bracewell for Oxford Brooks C and Scott Jeffs for Nottingham Trent C. Daniel Burgess is there for Brooks B, with William Toon for Trent B, Nathaniel Gollin for Brighton B and George Salthouse for Loughborough C. Bath A have James Bumy and Max O'Shaughnessy to round out your top 30. And Huddersfield A have Alex Gunn, Dimitris Tsioumanis for Manchester A. And then on the back row, Andrew, Tom Dent for Leeds A and a certain guy called James de Havilland in a Newcastle A kart, who I can't help remember winning a super final here 2 years ago when the BUKC was last at Clay Pigeon.
He is pretty handy, but I'm pretty sure he's also ineligible.
He's also ineligible
because
so
completely ignore it. Sorry, James.
But it could be interesting to see if he becomes a factor right from the back of the grid.
Just going to check if we are. I think we may be good for a go here. I was going to read out some YouTube comments, but that will have to wait. Apologies, guys. This will be the last race for some teams. No, we are good for go. So Sam Cobb on the anti-pole side, waiting for number 2 to go. Away we do go for the start of this one then, down into turn 1. Dante Dillon fishing around, trying to work his way through. Sam Cobb now to the inside of the leader. There's more spinners towards the back, but I think there's only one. It won't be a restart, but Sam Cobb is going to lead through the S's here on lap 1. Good start from the experienced driver, now racing for Cambridge.
Yeah, James Ireland, though, hasn't fallen too far down. He's there in second place, so it's a decent start for Loughborough A, with James Ireland in that number 2 kart, white helmet, blue suit, as there's a spinner of their own accord for Leeds into the hairpin there. We'll check which of the Leeds karts that is as they come round to finish this first lap, but it looks otherwise clean here as they come through the top crown of the circuit and onto the start-finish straight to begin lap number 2, nose to tail as they are.
Let's see how they go through then on the timing. Sam Cobb leads, Loughborough A crucially in second place. They need a good result in this one. Trent A 3rd, Warwick A 4th. Great start for Trinity A. They're up to 5th. Somebody's been claimed by Billy's Blind. We'll check who it is in a moment. Birmingham C, remember, ineligible in this race. They're a ghost cart in terms of points, and there's all kinds of stuff going on just behind out on the outskirts of the top 10, Howard.
Great start for Ryan Williams in the Coventry A car as we've got a spinner there right in front of our camera post at the hairpin. Leeds A was the Leeds car we saw having a spin at the hairpin, Andrew, so it's not a good start for Clubman Contender Leeds A there. They're right to the back of the field.
Ryan Williams out there. There he is in the number 1, just up behind Sam Lovelace at the moment, racing for De Montfort A. They're getting past Max Reed. Had a bit of a problem in... it's 2 carts off down again. You guessed where, Billy's Blind. So keep an eye out on that and timing, live.alphatime.co.uk/BUKC for all the latest results.
We've got a lot of spinners out there. So far, to my knowledge, these are all the carts that have had some kind of incident. De Montfort B, Loughborough C, Leeds A, Bournemouth A, Brighton B, Manchester A and Cambridge B. I think have all had some kind of spin, running wide, some kind of drama. They're all circulating again, but there have been a few people to fall off the back in the early stages here. And the crucial one, I think, from a championship perspective, Andrew, is Leeds A.
Yeah. Change for 3rd place then. Trent A, Dante Dillon, now ahead of the number 10 of Warwick A. Sam Stevens driving for them in this one, being cheered on by Alistair Irvin, I can see in the comments. Black flag for Manchester A. I'm not quite sure what that is for. It is for an ABC takeout, so they will come into the pits and lose all of their hard work so far in this one.
Absolutely. Harry Farnhill in the UWTSD effort as well, running well at the moment off the back of these two you have on your screen now, which is the battling Nottingham Trent A and Warwick A karts. Dante Dillon, as Andrew said, just getting past Sam Stevens there, up into 3rd place. And excuse me, I mentioned UWTSDA, they've actually just dropped behind Birmingham C and De Montfort A. Good running here from Jake O'Sullivan and Sam Lovelace in the Birmingham C and De Montfort A efforts respectively.
Sam Cobb, of course, has won a race this year. Won a race, I think it was actually his first ever solo win. Back at Buckmore Park. Raced for Warwick University for many years.
Yeah, I remember that.
Good morning to Mr. Stephen Hicks. How is Cobb still at uni? Must be his 15th year. I don't know.
I take it
I know he's doing a doctorate. He's doing a doctorate.
Okay, fair enough.
Why,
he's not just become like a caretaker of like a university building, which I just want to confirm for anyone having an idea out there who think they've had a light bulb moment, that doesn't work. Brooks karts working their way up through the field, Andrew. Brooks D, B and A in that order, 11th, 12th and 13th at the moment.
Oh, big one. James de Havilland involved and tyres everywhere coming out of the S's.
Yeah.
Didn't see what triggered all of that. The number 40's been involved as well.
This isn't on screen at the moment for you, but this is the S's just after Billy's Blind. So at the other end of the circuit to where we're looking at the moment.
That's going to take quite a bit of a repair job. We might go full course yellow here. There is James de Havilland recovering his car. You can see how much the tyres have been displaced.
The last time we were showing him on a BUKC live stream from Clay Pigeon, it was a bit more of a happier sight than that, I must say. As the race leader goes by him just there, you saw Sam Cobb with his flame helmet coming by. There's the 17 of Nottingham Trent A in 3rd, and the Birmingham C kart of Jake O'Sullivan as well. So James de Havilland is going to be, it's interesting here, Andrew. He's now slotted in behind Dante Dillon there. He's not going to be off the pace, is he? But he's a lap down on everybody around him.
2 Marshall posts and double waved yellows currently covering the tyre repair job being done down at the S's. So no full course yellow at the moment.
I said that Ryan Williams had a good start. He got himself up to 10th. Do you know who he's battling with at the moment, Andrew? He's battling with Brooks B and Loughborough B.
Ooh.
Is the battle going on there in the outer part of the top 10. You can see there Loughborough B in that 9th place, at the moment. Max Reed is in the kart for them, so he can do that important job for Loughborough that we saw the Brooks C kart doing in the previous race. This is where the sister teams come into play. Here it is, in fact, the number 3 of Brooks B chasing the number 6 of Loughborough B, and Coventry A there in the number 1 with Brooks A on their tail. So Carl Morby has been able to get onto the back here of Ryan Williams. So 2 of our key championship protagonists there, the 1 and the 7 there, and the number 3 of Brooks B can do a massive favour here for the Brooks A sister kart. Who's in the Brooks B effort in this one? It is Daniel Burgess. So again, teamwork coming in here. Coventry having to battle with the B teams from both Loughborough and from Brooks, as down the inside there goes, I think Max Reed has been dispensed with. Yes, he has. Ryan Williams now on the tail of Brooks B. So Max Reed of Loughborough B has fallen behind, but now Loughborough B are holding up Brooks A. You can see the 6 ahead of the 7. Max Reed in the black suit with a high vis yellow on his helmet. Kyle Morby trying to find a way through. Brooks D in the 19, a rear gunner to Brooks A here as well. So there's plenty of backup for the Brooks squad, and they've managed to tuck under there, and Kyle Morby is through on Max Reed in the back of your shot there. The 7 and crucially the 19 of Brooks D has followed through immediately as well. Brooks working well here, Andrew, to maximise their points, but we still need to see. Well, it's not time to swap cards at all here, because at the moment Brooks B there in the 3 still holding up Ryan Williams, and it's allowed the 7 to get back onto the tail of the 1. This is the kind of crucial teamwork you want to see. At the moment, Ryan Williams in that number 1 Coventry car is in this Brooks sandwich between the 3 of Brooks B and the 7 of Brooks A, and Kyle Morby's thinking about having a look on Ryan Williams. This is great stuff at the moment tactically from the Brooks squad. Ryan Williams though is going to tuck under, and has he let him? Yeah, so the Brooks B car has let him through, and if anything held up Kyle Morby slightly. I saw a little gesture there from Dan Burgess in that number 3 car to say, yep, you've got me into the S's. He gave way, as the drivers were requested to do in drivers briefing. You know, go single file through those S's, but he needs to let the A kart through by my measure here, Andrew. He needs to allow Kyle Morby to stay on the tail and keep applying the pressure to Ryan Williams.
Or the other way of saying it, he's now in the slipstream. Or he's going to go sling it down the inside.
That works.
And
through goes
great
Kyle.
teamwork, isn't it? Yeah, Morby,
that's great.
Morby gets through. That was Burgess sending it on Williams. There was a gap, and Kyle Morby took the opportunity and got himself 2 positions. So looks like the number 19's got his...
Of Brooks D.
Yeah, Brooks D have got through as well.
3 Brooks karts past Ryan Williams. Who am I to tell them how to do this? That was beautifully done by Brooks, whether by accident or quite possibly by design. They have all got past Ryan Williams. I believe they're all points eligible in this one.
They are.
And what's more, they're throwing Williams into the clutches of a certain Harry Farnhill as well in the number 12 UWTSD kart, the black helmet and black suit combination that's now off the back of the number 1. So beautiful squad play there by the Brooks karts, and the right car, unlike last race, Andrew, the correct Brooks kart is at the front of it.
Choo-choo, here comes the Brooks train. Now, will they separate the carriages to try and drop Coventry A back? I reckon the first 2, the A and the B team, 2 very good drivers, of course, in Kyle Morby and Dan Burgess. Nice new lid there on Dan Burgess as well. What's the gap to the next kart ahead? It's about 2.5 seconds up the road to Trent C. That's what they'll try and cross over. I think that was Ryan Williams going back down the inside of one of the Brooks karts. No, but didn't make it through. So Brooks D still holding there in 9th position, and they have split the train now. This is what they need to do. They need to allow the A and the B team to get down the road and at least secure 7th and 8th in this race.
And you can see how desperate Ryan Williams is to get by, but he's allowed himself to be attacked by Harry Farnhill. Farnhill in the number 12 there is going to get the job done. Beautiful positioning from Farnhill there to take the move, and he's going to just pinch the line enough to deter Ryan Williams from a move into the S's. Yes, he is. That was great opportunism from Farnhill there. And again, Coventry A are immediately exposed to who? The number 6 of Max Reed in the Loughborough B kart, who has a look into the hairpin. You'd be forgiven for if Ryan Williams felt a little bit punch drunk from championship sister teams around him at the moment. He's now under attack from them, so it's been a difficult exchange for Coventry A. He manages to salvage a position back though from Harry Farnhill there. Nice move by Ryan Williams to take what will that be, 10th position back off of UWTSD A, and he now goes in pursuit.
Swapped each other around.
I'd say, sorry again?
I think they do this just to wind us up sometimes. Brooks B now ahead of Brooks A.
Yep, that's correct. Confirmed ahead of this battle that we have on screen. There it is, the 3 now ahead of the 7. I don't know. There's plenty of time left in the race.
Yeah.
Maybe if Burgess has
and
the
Burgess
pace.
is a bit quicker,
yeah.
You could pull Morby along a little bit.
No, they're side by side. We can see out our windows. There they are. You can see on your shot, side by side. So are they swapping again? No, don't battle, boys. Seriously. Work out what you're going to do and do it. Because otherwise, the job that Callum Porter in this number 19 Brooks D kart is doing of holding up the Brooks A championship rival of Coventry A is all going to be for nothing if you just lose time battling. And here we go, Carl Morby tucking under Dan Burgess again, and it's swapped back. Brooks A now ahead of Brooks B. Now, surely you guys have got to work together here to try and pull away. You've got your rear gunner in the form of Brooks D holding up the championship rival. Move on up the road, stamp home the advantage.
Bing bong, something's happened to Exeter. They're down to 21st. They were 17th, but they have got good scores on the board already.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will just be their dropped round, their dropped race within the round, rather.
Yeah, it's
changed to second place, Howard. Nottingham Trent A have got ahead of Loughborough.
Another significant one.
That is Dante Dillon, learning his craft here in the BUKC. Seen him race in various series over the years. Great to have him here at Clay Pigeon.
Sam Cobb still your leader, we mustn't forget. 3 seconds to the good at the head of the field. But another drive that thus far today, we've had to mention the leader very little. There's just been this air of dominant drives. And I have to say, Andrew, the number of drivers who seem to be here learning clay or learning clay in the dry today, one can't help but feel that that's to a driver like Sam Cobb's advantage.
Indeed. Birmingham C still up in fourth, but remember they are ineligible.
Fastest lap of the race from Trent A though, Andrew. They've just taken the gap down to 2.6 seconds. So Dante Dillon pushing now to try and get onto terms with our leader and give us a show at the front. And he's taking Tom Thickpenny with him, as far as I can tell. And that will be good for Thickpenny from a Loughborough A perspective. They'll be wanting to do that. Still Ryan Williams can't get past this Brooks D kart, and still he's under pressure from the 12 of Harry Farnhill as they put a lap on one of our back markers there.
Yeah, so it's a really tough situation for him. Just to remind everybody, we have got some teams out there who will be finishing their round in this race, the likes of Bath A, Trinity B and UEA. UEA I can see are in 14th place, Bath A in 18th, so they're going to get some decent scores. We'll see how it all shakes out. Up the inside there goes the number 12, so that's Trinity A and Harry Farnhill through past Rayan Williams' Coventry A kart.
Yeah, another point dot for Coventry A. So this is all coming out. This is all going to be very, very tight, isn't it, come the end of this one, isn't it, mate? We've seen all of our championship players have, I mean, Exeter A aren't having a fantastic one in this one. Max O'Shaughnessy just hasn't been able to move up in the way that I would have expected, and we think they may have had a drama out there of some description. So it's an interesting one. Definitely stay tuned with us for the rest of today, because this championship, as Andrew said earlier, we can't decide this championship in this morning's round, but we really, really can't decide it. It's going to go tight. It would not be the first time that we would have seen this championship not only go down to the last round, but we've seen it go down to the last. We've seen it go down to the last straight, the last corner, to be honest. Before, this one is going to go all the way, I reckon, right through to the end of today. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us here on your Alpha Live stream with commentary from Double Dash Motorsport Media. We're just under 11 minutes left of this one. Sam Cobb runs in the lead in this one for Cambridge A, who, don't forget, are probably out of it for the championship, but can taste a sort of overall championship podium come the end of today. They're having a good round, as far as I can tell. Dante Dillon in second in the Nottingham Trent A car. Jake O'Sullivan having a really good run. He's there in the 54 car. Not giving him too much mention, mate, because he's not points eligible in this one, but this is a good run from Jake, actually. Very experienced driver for the Birmingham effort.
He is underweight, though.
Jeez. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Caligria Alpra asks, where is Lewis Hamilton? He's in Sochi, mate. He's in Sochi. He's not here this weekend.
Absolutely. And we don't even have the number 44 here today, actually. So really not here.
We're not blessed today.
No. Still we rise, though, and there is the 24 of James de Havilland. Now, this is an interesting one. Loughborough A. We haven't mentioned Loughborough A too much in this one, and I erroneously said Tom Thickpenny, didn't I, earlier? And it's not Tom Thickpenny anymore. It is, of course, James Ireland out for them in this one, in that white helmet and blue suit. He can't get by James de Havilland, who is a lap down. And it's that kind of thing that's going to prove a little bit frustrating here for the Loughborough A effort, because he'd love to get on up the road and get onto the back of some of the karts that have some points at play. Having said that, though, Scott Jeffs is out in the Nottingham Trent C kart, so he can't be eligible for points. So I actually think that in terms of points, which we've dropped ineligibles, Loughborough A are in a net third, I think. So actually, they may not know this because it's impossible to keep track of who's eligible and who's not. This is a great battle we're seeing.
It's getting a lot easier. I've just received a PDF. I will be back in a moment.
Okay. Oh, and change of position there. Trent C have just got past Trent A. So change of position there, and look at this, Jake O'Sullivan's going to go down the inside of Dante Dillon and James de Havilland, but crucially James Ireland is going to follow through. Brilliant move there from James Ireland. He got past 3 karts in one corner there, which counted as 2 positions because James de Havilland in the 24 is a lap down. He's just really on the pace. So James Ireland there moves the Loughborough A effort up to 3rd place, whilst Nottingham Trent C, points ineligible, remember, have got up to 2nd place. But that is a bonus point there for James Ireland in the Loughborough A kart.
Spinner down at, you guessed it, Billy's blind, number 92, mate.
That's Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, of course it is. Our Marshall and Marshall Post 1's going to have a very tired set of arms by the end of the day.
Yes. Yes, they are. And we are down to the last 7.5 minutes-ish of this one. And the lead gap is now 3.3 seconds, but these folks that you see on your screen now, if they can work together, they still have time to reel in the leader. What else is going on further down? Well, the incident for Bournemouth has given a few more points to those. Jake O'Sullivan tries to tuck under James Ireland here in a battle over, and he's got the job done. 3rd place for Jake O'Sullivan in the Birmingham C car. Andrew, he's driving beautifully. It's a shame it's not points eligible, isn't it? Because this is a great drive from him around Clay Pigeon here. He is having, and here comes James Ireland back at him into the horseshoe. This is where it gets awkward because it's for position, but it's not for points. But James Ireland has no way of knowing. He's just got to battle with everybody and try and get the best result. He is the highest placed of the championship protagonists in the Premier class here, side by side with the Birmingham C kart, but surely he's going to hold on to that one. Yes, he is. Don't go deep into the corner, James, and you'll have that one. Oh, and there's a love tap there from Birmingham C, and there's James de Havilland. Andrew, this is scrum, and it's going to allow Dante Dillon in the Trent A kart back past James Ireland. The number 17 is now ahead of the 2, and that's the crucial one in terms of points. Here comes Brooks A. Where have they come from? Kyle Morby down the inside of Loughborough A. Oxford Brooks A are on the scene, and they have just taken points. This is suddenly a really, really crucial battle between Brooks A and Loughborough A again, who came into today 2nd and 3rd in our championships. They want to take this away from Coventry A, who you can see on your timing tower to the left, are currently down in 11th place, and they've done it. Kyle Morby is now ahead of James Ireland and has a kart between them in the form of Jake O'Sullivan in that number 54 Birmingham C kart. So big change there. Didn't spot how Brooks A were gaining on this pack of karts whilst they were all battling away, but gain on them he has, and he's now got by. Brilliant, brilliant moment that for Brooks A as they grasp some crucial points off of one of their championship rivals.
Battle here out on circuit, but not for position. James de Havilland and Dante Dillon. Still 5 minutes of this one to go. This is a grueling race.
It's broken early, this one, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's not too much working together. The gloves have come off really early in this one. And I think partially, Andrew, it's because there's so many people down a lap, out of position, not counting. You know, it's hard to judge.
According to my sources, Trent C are eligible for this race. Your ineligibles in this one are Trent B, Bravo, Newcastle A, and of course Birmingham C.
Good spot in our ear from the producers. Here is your leader, Sam Cobb, in the 14, and you've said that Trent C were eligible for points, mate. Well, the gap is down to a second for the leader this one. So there's the 14 in the lead, and there is the 103 in second place. So lead gap is closing down here between two drivers who, Andrew, I believe to be extremely experienced in the form of Sam Cobb and Scott Jeffs.
Yeah,
very experienced pairing at the head of this field. Can say that Nottingham A have just got past Sheffield A, by the way, for 12th place, and they've all got back past Loughborough B as well. So there's a few changes happening in the mid-teens or the lower teens there. Keep an eye on your timing towers there. Or don't forget, by the way, live.alphatiming.co.uk and click on BUKC for the full timing screen. If you've got a screen spare, you can follow along with that whilst you're watching this stream. Sam Cobb now on the tail of the Leeds A kart, who, let's not forget, had the spin off early on. It's not been a good race this for Leeds A, but it's not the case that Birmingham A are out there taking points off of them.
Problem for Dante Dillon, falling down through the order. He was up in third, he's not there anymore. So what has happened to Dante Dillon? He's come back over the line now, but is now down to 11th place. That's a real shame for him, as down the inside there, Scott Jeffs going past, I think that was Tom Dent, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was, for Leeds. 3.5 minutes of this one to go here. You're watching live coverage. The 7th and penultimate round of the British Universities Karting Championship, the longest BUKC season on record. Delayed, of course, by the lockdown due to COVID-19. Andrew Mather and Howard Mitchell on commentary duties. If you're enjoying the commentary, you can support us on Facebook at Double Dash Motorsport Media, on Twitter and Instagram as well at Double Dash MM, and YouTube. Go check it out. And Alpha Live, of course, as well, if you're enjoying the streaming and the pictures. Great camera work from the team so far today, and the production team down in the van at Alpha Live Productions for them on Facebook. And of course, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty of racing coming up across the course of the season, but that's big. Penalty for Loughborough A. What is it for, Howard?
ABC bump and pass.
ABC bump and pass. They've pushed somebody out the way.
4 positions docked at the end of the race. Meanwhile, the lead battle going side by side into the Hans hairpin. Scott Jeffs can't find a way through on Sam Cobb. Cobb knows where to position the kart well here to defend this one. It'll be a good result for Cambridge after, was it the previous race where they dropped down a bit?
They
did Cambridge A, so they'll be looking to bounce back with a good result here. 2 minutes left on the clock. Don't know who's going to win with this one. Traffic is ahead as well, in the form of a battle going on for 22nd place between Imperial A and UWTSDB. So they're not really going to want to yield anytime soon as they come onto the back of that UWTSDB kart in pursuit of Imperial. As our leaders come through the hairpin. And Sam Cobb's going to go around the outside, and there we go. It's going to hold up Scott Jeffs in that Trent C kart quite a bit there. And that's giving a bit of breathing space to Sam Cobb. And is that the breathing space he needed to bring this one home? Still more traffic in the form of that Imperial kart. It's just giving the Imperial kart a gift. They're going to feel a lot more comfortable now in 22nd spot, I must say.
Comment from Alistair Irvin. We really shouldn't be having ineligible drivers messing around in these races. Not quite sure whether... there's a tyre mess there. Yeah. I agree with the sentiment.
Yeah, cone penalty for... what happened to Dante Dillon?
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Oh, did we? Beg pardon, yes. Gosh, a lot's happened in this one, hasn't it? It's been yeah. Wow, okay.
He has fallen further back, though. He's now down to 19th place.
Yeah.
So, problems. It's a shame that for Dante. Scott Jeffs looking for a move down the inside. Sam Cobb covers it off well. We're going to go on to the last lap then. Penultimate race of this round. We've got round 8 coming up, of course, in the afternoon. Last lap board out. There's a yellow out. And look at the level of the wind. You just saw the yellow flag there. Almost horizontal. Just as the sheer force of the wind there. It's for the tyre replacement through the S's. But Sam Cobb still has the lead here. He's surely going to go defensive down into the hairpin as Scott Jeffs tries to turn in, and there's a Sam Cobb there. That's not going to work. Number 56 isn't involved in this battle for the lead. They're a lap down, but Sam Cobb, can he hold on for another victory here this season in the BUKC for 2020? He did it at Buckmore Park. He's round the final corner, and surely he's going to do it here at Clay Pigeon as well. The most experienced driver in the field, and he is very, very happy about that. Sam Cobb wins race 4 for Cambridge A. Trent C finish in second. Big points for Kyle Morby. Another wonderful drive from Kyle. He finishes P3 for Brooks A. Birmingham C are ineligible. We'll get them out the way. Loughborough A will be classified 4th. Warwick A 5th. Brooks D 6th. Trinity A 7th. Brooks B 8th. Only 9th for Coventry A. The pressure really is on for the reigning champions, who at one point this week didn't expect to be here. Sheffield A, in terms of points awardees, finished 10th, and it was Loughborough B to Montfort A. Excuse me, my timing's just reset.
Huddersfield A.
Thank
Shall
you.
I take it on?
I've
Bath
got it
A.
right now. Huddersfield A, Bath A, Nottingham A, UWE A. Good points for them. Good morning for them there in round 7. Brooks C, Trent A, and Newcastle B finished the top 20 of those out of the circuit. And it was Trent B, Imperial A, Trinity B, Leeds A, Newcastle A taking it down to 25th. Bournemouth A, Warwick B, Loughborough C, Brighton B, and Cambridge B to 30th place. And then Exeter B to Montfort B, Manchester A, and Exeter A. So Exeter A, I presume, had some form of cart issue because they finished 20 laps down. That's their drop score gone. Now that puts a little bit of pressure then on the final race for them.
Yeah, as the wind picks up again, and I can see the Dorset flag, by the way, fluttering very proudly outside of our comms box window here. But as the wind picks up once again at an already very windy Clay Pigeon, let's head down to Jacob.
Down here in the pits, we've got race winner Sam Cobb, who's just taken his seat insert and led off the cart. And his number plate, don't forget your number plate, Sam. Come over here and have a chat. At a socially distant. Sam, this is your second win of the year?
Yeah, it's the first time that's happened in a while.
You were never this good for Warwick?
No, I decided I'd step it up now with Cambridge.
Now that Alistair and Ben aren't holding you back, you thought, I'm going to go for it?
Yeah, I was lugging a lot of dead weight with that team.
How have you managed this upturning form then, Sam? Come on, tell us.
I've just been out more, I'm racing a lot at the moment, so yeah, I guess and this is always a track I'm good at. I think I won last time we were here, so it's a good track for me, and yeah, just improving driving, that's all it is.
Have you entered the Drivers' Champ with this local form?
Yeah, I'm in that. We'll give that a go. I'll probably get binned or something. It always happens. Drivers' Champs always goes awfully.
Not in drive. You won't get binned in Drivers' Champs, Sam. Come on.
That never happens. No. It's all very clean.
Exactly. But this race, though, tell us a bit about your performance. It was fantastic.
There's a bit of run and hide. It all kicked off at the start, and then I was clear. And I don't know who it was in the 103, but they were coming at me fast at the end, and it got a bit dicey. But I just made a gap at the start, and that kind of saved me. I wasn't driving clicky fast or special, just sort of worked out with consistency.
Well, I don't know about particularly fast or special. It looked pretty special to me.
Well, that's nice of you to say.
You've always been special to me, though, Sam. Congratulations on your race win, and all the best for the rest of the weekend.
Cheers. I guess I'm not getting a hug, though, this time, am I?
Not today, unfortunately. You can have an elbow bump if you really want, but I'm trying not to touch people, you know, COVID and all that. Yeah, I think I've got wipes back at the thing. I'll wipe myself down. Sam Cobb there, winner of race number 4, a penultimate of this round for Cambridge A, number 14. Now, the drivers for the next race, the second heavyweight race of the day, have started putting their stuff out on the carts. Let's head to the front of the grid and see who we've got in race number 5. Now, I'm pretty sure we've got a double Brighton down here at the front of the grid. If I just step over this side and, in fact, going to go one further as well and talk to Mr. Stephen Howes once he's adjusted his car. Stephen, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
Not too bad at all. Not too far to drive from Brighton up here?
It's not too bad, but I came from Holmes this week, so it's a 3-hour drive last night. It's not too bad, it's not too pleasant, it's a nice drive.
And a bit of a struggle getting through an open gate when you got here?
Yeah, the padlock looked locked.
Padlock looked locked, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I know, but a bit of panic, but you sorted me out, so it's all good.
Yeah, Stephen messaged me late last night asking how to open a gate. Good job, I was on hand to help out with that. Starting here on row number 2, what can we expect to see from you?
It's hopefully going to be a strong start. Hopefully stay within the top 3 for the first few laps and then see how it goes from there. Not been to Clay since 2016, Drivers' Champ, so it's going to be a little bit different this today, so get used to the circuit again.
You've got championship contenders Oxford Brooks directly behind you. Any words of encouragement for them?
Yeah, keep it smooth and don't bin me off and I won't bin them off.
I'll go tell him that myself. Thank you for the chat. Let's have a little look. Who have we got here in the Oxford Brooks car?
David.
David, how's it going?
Not too bad, you?
Oh, yeah, decent. Good result for Kyle in that last race?
Yeah. We've had 2 decent results and 1 bad one so far, so as long as I don't get a bad one, we should be okay.
Got to get the Brooks train back on track. Do you reckon the title's still within your grasp?
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Keeping an eye on Loughborough and Coventry, how have they done?
Sorry?
You've been keeping an eye on Loughborough and Coventry, how have they done in your view?
Well, we've beaten them in most races so far, so it's pretty good.
And can you carry that on throughout the day?
Oh, definitely. 100%.
That's what I like to hear. Good bit of confidence. Right, well, I'll let you get on with that. I'm going to go see if I can find one of them. First, I will talk to the most relaxed-looking man in the world, Sam Johns. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Not as good as you by the looks of things. You look like you're having a lovely time.
Well, the sun's out now. It was freezing earlier, but yeah, I'm sunbathing.
You're not going to get much of a tan in a full race suit and helmet, mate.
It's worked.
More of a tan than you'll get sunbathing in Wales anyway. How is University of Wales Trinity St David's Day going?
It's not bad. We haven't really started yet, actually, so I'm just waiting for it to start because there's nothing to do.
And have you been to Clay before yourself? I know you're a late entry to the Drivers' Champ. Is this just practice for Sunday, or are you a seasoned veteran around here?
I've had a few Super 1 races and MSA races around here, but first time in BUKC. I'm not really a big fan of the track, if I'm honest, but I'll see what it's like in these. So.
All right, well, hopefully you can enjoy it in this fine machinery that we provide for you here, and maybe I'll speak to you at some point this weekend once you win a race.
That's the plan.
All right then, let's move a bit further back. We have got Sam Tyrne in the Huddersfield car. I've not spoken to Huddersfield yet. Huddersfield down to 1 team for this weekend. Sam, what's happened?
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. A lot of people have graduated this year, and we've not really got a nice intake of freshers, so kind of a bit strung out, a bit lower numbers, but we're here with what we've got, and we're just here to have a bit of a hack at the end of the day. It's been a while, so nice to be back.
And how's the hack going? How's Huddersfield been getting on this morning?
We've not really been keeping track with results. We've just been here for a bit of karting, nice time, but mid-pack really, I'd say. Mid-pack, Sam Wilson was out earlier, first time here. He had a really good drive, actually, really nice. Learned the track well, and he's solid. Alex Gunn's just gone out, and pretty happy from the back. I think he got about 14th, so we're looking sort of mid-pack and just seeing what we can do today.
What are you going to produce for us yourself?
Magic, I hope.
Magic, I like that. And on that note, we'll start up the engines for the 5th and final time in this round. Strong field in this one. Our last heavyweight race of the day. Unfortunately, we didn't get as far back to talk to Tom Fox in the Coventry car, our other title contenders in this race. Andrew, Howard, back to you guys for the 5th race of the day.
Thank you, Jacob. Final race for this round then, before we go into round 8. Going to get through this grid nice and quickly for you because Andrew's been doing the maths on where things stand for the overall round victory. So forgive me, I'm going to race through this one fairly quickly. Brooks B have Callum James and Jake O'Sullivan, this time points eligible, starts for Birmingham A and second to Montford B's Christian Bessel and Stephen Howes for Brighton A, having successfully navigated that gate last night, is row number 2. Brighton B's Nathan Little and David Haynes for Oxford Brooks A is row number 3. Row 4 is going to be Bradley Weymouth for Leeds B and Sam Johns for UWTSD A. Josh Kraft for Exeter A and Sam Tyrne for Huddersfield A round out your top 10. Row 6 is going to be Michael Greed for Manchester A and Edward McDade for Nottingham Trent B. Row 7 is going to be Southampton A's Pascal Pook, and then it's going to be Matthias Reed Simpson for Loughborough C. Row 8 is Exeter B's Ben Wallace and Charlie Lamb for Nottingham A. Row 9 is Cambridge A's Jonathan Collins and Jack Fisher for Leeds A, looking to have a better result than the last race. Row 10 is Bath B's Ewan Clements and George Warledge for Imperial A. Row 11 is Birmingham B's Max Wade and Luke Schilleber for Cambridge B. Row 12 is Swansea A's Ryan Edwards and Nottingham Trent A's Aaron Pretty. Row 13, Coventry A's Tom Fox with Hertfordshire A's Marcus Brown alongside. Row 14, Brooks C with Brad Butcher at the wheel. I'm going to go Cambridge, UWTSD. They're having a good one as well, I think. Put me out of misery.
It is on 162 points out of a possible 180.
Yeah.
Loughborough A.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
That was my reaction as well when the numbers came through. But yeah, Loughborough have had a 4th and 13th, 162. We haven't really got like a clubhouse leader.
No, okay,
Because of, of us only having 5 races instead of 6. So Loughborough A currently lead the round on 162, start this race 30th. Brooks C is second on a 158, start this race 27th. Cambridge A are running well. They're in 3rd place on 154, start this race 17th. Newcastle A are sort of your clubhouse leaders. They're done for this round on 153, but obviously can't win. Brooks A are in 5th place on 152, start 6th. I'm going to put my money, my virtual money, on the table and say this round win is going to go the direction of Brooks A. They've got the best setup of points already on the board, comboed with where they start on this grid. Let's see if that happens.
We're surely going round again, mate. There was a cart that was stalled at the back.
I'll keep reading down the order. Clubman looks like this. Birmingham A currently 8th overall in the round, have 150 points already secured. The next closest Clubman team is UWE A on 146. They're done. They're done for this round. Good results for them. Brighton B are next up on 143. Leeds A currently down on 140 points, so dropping 10 points in terms of this round so far. Let's see after this race what that converts to in terms of a championship gap, but it's looking good at the moment for Birmingham.
Yeah, absolutely. Remind me again, mate, key players in the Prems for the round win are therefore
Everybody.
Everybody. Good.
There's a lot.
No, that keeps it simple.
There's a lot that mathematically could win this one,
yep.
So we'll take it as it comes.
They're trying to start it this time around. Yes, they are going to start it. So Brooks B, Callum James there in the number 3, alongside Jake O'Sullivan in the number 4 Birmingham A car. They can look to get some good points in Clubman's here. Away we go for the last race of round number 7. Into Billy's Blind they go. It's a good start from Brighton end of 22. We've got carts round at the back, and they've got a few there who
Stephen
have
Letts
come
is
to.
involved.
Yes, Stephen Letts is no, James Mills is involved. That was the James Mills suit there, Andrew, of Loughborough A. James Mills there got Bolt there, no heavy impacts, he'll be able to keep going, but he'll be off the back of the pack now because this one has not been called as a false start. I'll call through the other people to have suffered there at Billy's Blind as they come round. I don't think I saw any further incidents around the lap, so as they all file their way through, I'll keep an eye on who's dropping down the time screens. It is, though, Brooks B who have retained the lead with Callum James at the wheel. Birmingham A in second, UWTSD A, great start for them. Up to 3rd place, that's Sam Johns with a fantastic start. He looked laid back in the dummy grid. He's been cool as a cucumber on that first lap to get his way up to the top 3. Brooks A have been up 1 to 5th place. Let's have a look further down. Who has fallen off the back? So, yeah, I think Loughborough A, Brooks D, Bournemouth A, Manchester A, Newcastle B have all had a first lap to forget. So, Andrew, this is going to be an important one for James Mills to work his way back up for Loughborough A.
It is indeed. So he's already back up to 30th. I'm sure he'll start to close in at the moment. It would not...
Sorry, Andrew, change for the lead. Sorry, Birmingham A have got past. Jake O'Sullivan leads for Birmingham A as they come on to lap number 3. Well, he got a bit of practice in the previous race, didn't he? I do wonder, though, Andrew, as we've got a driver off there on our screens. It is Cambridge, isn't it? Check which Cambridge it is. But Jake O'Sullivan...
Cambridge B, because they haven't come through the first sector.
My only thought, Andrew, is here we are. Here is the lead battle. Birmingham A in the lead. I know drivers like to get some practice in, and you know, Jake's a fit lad, but you've got to make sure you don't tire yourself out by doing races back to back as they go through that yellow flag zone there. What's happened to Coventry? Why has Coventry just gone past our comms box window, Andrew?
Don't know, but that means they're off the back. They're under pressure, but here, look at this for the lead, side by side. Birmingham just keep their noses in front. O'Sullivan's got to play this sensibly. I'm sure he will. But with the scores that Birmingham A have at the moment, you know, a top 5, even if that is just 5th place, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. They've got to make sure, though, they don't get taken out. They don't have any silly errors. They don't fall off the road here. They convert this early race position into a clubman's win.
I think this is disaster brewing for Coventry, mate. The way that I didn't spot them until just then when they came past our comms box window makes me wonder if maybe they've had to go into the pits with a kart issue.
Yeah,
no black flag, but I think maybe if they were embroiled in some of the shenanigans on the first lap, maybe they've had to switch karts, as here the Brooks A car is trying to get past Brooks B. They, again, let the Brooks A car pass, guys. You've got a championship to try and win. They are both on pace, though, and I suppose it is early days yet in the race. But, Andrew, that's the second one for Coventry A, isn't it? Haven't they already had a score they'd rather drop?
They've had a 16th, a 7th and a 9th, so they've not really had anything to note to shout about in this round 7, which means they're going to have used both of their drop scores, I think. We'll see how it shakes out.
Lap flag for Loughborough B, advantage by contact takeout. There's a yellow down at Billy's Blind, mate. Is there a cart off down there that you can see out of the window?
Yes, there is. A little bit further round Billy's Blind to normal, and a driver trying to get it started as... Ooh, I think that was on the dirt. That wasn't on the grass. We'll get away with that. I'll try and confirm the number for you in a moment. It is the number 98, Hertfordshire A.
Yep. Okay, we're looking here at the battle over third place, but surely the two Brooks carts are going to work together here to get onto the back of our leaders. I haven't mentioned much at all. I mean, I said Sam Johns had a good start. He's now up to second. So really good drive this from Sam Johns so far. I think UWTSD are having a pretty decent round. Now here's the interesting one for me. You can see there Tom Fox in the number 1 car. That's Coventry A. They're a lap down. They've just got lapped. So really not what Coventry needed here. It's not just that they're at the back. They are at the back and off the back of the pack. So this is not good news for them. How are Loughborough A, who had that issue in turn 1, well, they are working their way up now. James Mills up to 22nd place at this point. So this is very interesting from the perspective of the championship. I'm trying to think if Jake O'Sullivan has had an outright sprint race win in the mains. I'm not sure he has, you know. This would be big for O'Sullivan.
Tell you what as well, Brighton B, what a morning they've had.
Yeah.
8th, 6th, 26th and now on for a 5th. There's another couple of drivers off down at Billy's Blind. Colin, I don't even want to describe the state he's in at the moment. It's not good. As we're having a look at Tom Fox there.
Getting lapped by UWTSD. Sam Johns now passed. And you know what? Tom Fox is about to get lapped if he's not careful by Brooks B and A. So it's really not good there. One aspect, by the way, that was mentioned on the grid interviews that we haven't really covered yet, because we're hosting this final round in September, there are some drivers who have graduated. Now, graduates are perfectly entitled, as there's a cone penalty for Birmingham B. People who have graduated, you know, who haven't just started a new academic year at university because they finished in the summer of 2020, they're perfectly allowed to compete in this round, and indeed, as was announced a few weeks ago, they're allowed uniquely this for these couple of seasons to also compete in next season as if they were still undergraduates because of the disruption. Really nice gesture by the organisers to allow that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that all the graduates are free to do this round. You know, some of them, one would hope, you know, they've just graduated, and although we're in fairly turbulent times, hopefully they can get a job and take it. And there's a moment there between Brooks B and the number 6 of Loughborough B, who are a lap down. And is that a completely separate incident there for is that the number 11 that's gone off? That was the 11 of Brooks C. So what happened there was Loughborough B, who were a lap down, having a moment with Brooks B, who are running in third, so that's not too good there. And Brooks C, completely independently of that, having an issue down at Billy's Blind. But yeah, you know, if you've graduated, if you've just started a job, then congratulations and well done, by the way. But it might mean that you're not particularly free to come and do a round, as there's a penalty there for Loughborough B, and I'm not too surprised to see that, to be honest, because that was extremely robust for a car that was a lap down. But yeah, it's an important point to bear in mind. Another reason why it's impressive and to be commended that we have the entry list that we do, albeit slightly reduced, which is why we're down to 5 races around rather than 6, which is why the round results are so open. Here we are, though, looking at, amongst other things, the Loughborough A kart trying to work their way up through the field. James Mills here battling away.
If the round was to finish as it is, here's your provisional hang on, what's going on here? There's a lot of karts in close proximity with one another.
James Mills in the battle in the mid-pack. He's battling away with the likes of Exeter B, Swansea A, Newcastle B. They're all in the hunt here. De Montfort A. This is the battle for 15th downwards that James Mills is brilliantly navigating his way through to get as much points as he can on the board for Loughborough A.
If the round was to finish as it is right now, here from the spreadsheet of doom is how the round would finish. Oxford Brooks A would win it on 173 points and take 60 championship points forward into the last round of this season. Exeter A would be second. Birmingham A would be third overall. But you think, oh, that must mean they have a massive gap in clubmen. No, they're currently 1 point ahead in this round of Brighton B. Brighton B would be fourth on 164, Cambridge A 5th, Loughborough A 6th, Brooks B 7th. Other key teams, Leeds A would be 10th and Coventry A would be 14th.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's all starting to come to play here in both tiers of this championship.
That pack that we were just following was pretty much all for position. Beautiful cacophony of karts there. This, though, is your lead battle, and that is because Sam Johns in the number 12 is closing the gap on Jake O'Sullivan in that Birmingham A kart. There's a cone penalty for Hertfordshire A, so they'll get docked one position when they get to the end of this race. But here it is, your lead battle, as there's still a long way to go in this one. Birmingham A kart, as Andrew was just saying, Birmingham A need as much as there's another penalty there for Loughborough B, or possibly a repeat showing. No, it's a different showing. It's track limits, so not a good race for Loughborough B. New fastest lap of the race from second place, UWTSDA, and here we are, we're on the scene. Sam Johns is trying his best to get past the Birmingham A kart here for UWTSDA. And as Andrew was just saying, Birmingham need all the points they can get in their pursuit of the Clubman's Championship. University of Wales, Trinity St David are in 14th place overall in the championship. They've got not too much to fight about. They're not going to worry too much about relegation to Clubman's. Into top bend, he's going for it though. Beautiful move by the UWTSD effort, piloted by Sam Johns. That was as clean as you like through top bend. In fact, you don't often see moves that clean through top bend. But Jake O'Sullivan is immediately back into the slipstream. He's going to try and tuck under here, get the cut back, and beautifully done by him as well. Lovely exchange between these two drivers, and Birmingham A is back to the lead. Will Jake go defensive into the hairpin? No, he sticks to the racing line. It's actually a relatively difficult hairpin to do a move under brakes into by the standards of a hairpin. Again, O'Sullivan goes defensive into the horseshoe. He's going to have the inside line for Button. That'll be okay, but it might give Sam Johns another opportunity into top bend where he put a move last time. No, he thinks better of it and decides to go for a nice late apex to give him the drag onto the start-finish straight as they go on to lap number 17.
They need to keep working together. There's still a long, we've not reached the halfway point of this race, and there's two Brooks guys.
Now the correct way round.
Now the correct way round, although I think it's going to be all academic in terms of both those teams, such has been Brooks A's performance this morning. They need to keep working together because that, 4.5 second gap back to third and fourth could disappear very quickly if they start being a little bit too boisterous with each other.
Track limits warning for Loughborough A. They don't want to get a penalty for that one. They're trying to work their way up. James Mills still in that crazy cacophony of karts in the middle that we saw earlier on, working his way through.
Mistake there from Sam Johns. Mistake, he ran wide and has fallen a little bit off the back of Jake O'Sullivan. Jake O'Sullivan gets past the Cambridge B kart there, controls that really well. Really well, Jake. Well done. That was difficult down into Billy's blind, but he kept the line tight to the inside, didn't drift wide, didn't give Sam Johns an opportunity to get underneath him on the approach to the S's. Changed for 11th place. Trent A have got past De Montfort B in that battle of the East Midlands universities.
I'm trying to think if Sam Johns has ever had a sprint win in BUKC
yes,
as
he
well.
has.
I think he has, hasn't he?
Yep.
So, yeah, this would be a big one for Jake. He's a driver, Andrew, with a lot of experience. You and I know him well, of course, both formerly of the Birmingham parish ourselves. He's a driver who some days I feel so gutted for him, because some days if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. This is the best opportunity he's ever had to take a win here. But Sam Johns is going to run it. He's going to keep him honest. Tucks under. Beautiful move again from Sam Johns there. Great move there by the UWTSD driver. And he gestures. He says, "Let's work together." I can understand why he's saying it. There's 12 minutes left on the clock, and they don't know it. but there are two Brooks karts starting to bear down on them here, just getting a little bit of time on them every single lap. And it is Brooks A working their way up here. David Haynes for them in that number 7 with a rear gunner in the form of Brooks B with them as well.
Big lap. That was a huge lap from Sam Johns. 41.232, new fastest lap of the race.
Took the lead on that as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The pace is good, actually. They just need to keep doing this. The last time round, the Brooks A kart did a 41.6. Brooks B did a 41.3. So they're closing, but not by a massive amount at the moment. 11.5 minutes to go here at Clay Pigeon. Last race of the 7th and penultimate round for this year's BUKC. Round 8 is coming straight up after this, after the lunch break. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked here on Alpha Live. Make sure you've subscribed and click the notification bell. Sam Johns, is he starting to break Jake O'Sullivan? The toe round here. You know, we go to a couple of circuits like this. I think like we were at Lydd last weekend for Club 100, Shennington as well. Now, neither of those circuits appearing traditionally on the BUKC calendar. This is the BUKC's slipstream track here around Clay Pigeon, especially that long run from Top Bend down to Billy's Blind. And Jake O'Sullivan is sticking with him, keeping Sam Johns under pressure here. Let's see what the lap times are like this time around as they come around to finish lap 21. Just so you know, still for Birmingham A, this is still, as it stands, a position that would give them the Clubman round victory. They would take it on a tiebreaker at the moment, virtue of the second place that Jake is in right now, this moment. Pace was 41.3 for Johns, 41.5 for O'Sullivan, 41.9 for Brooks A. So they're actually pulling away now from the two Brooks karts. This is great work from the drivers of the 12 and the 4. What's happening a little bit further back? I'm keeping my eye on Exeter.
Yep.
They are still in... Oh, say that they've just got a penalty. They've just got a penalty.
Josh Craft.
Josh Craft has got a penalty. Is it a bump and pass? It does.
It's track limits.
It's track limits, so that should be 2.
I think it's 2.
We'll have it confirmed at the end of the race. Of course, still a long way to go. Could be more penalties coming in. That's,
you know what that could
points.
do? You know what that could do?
Mr.
Mills of Loughborough has just got past Leeds B for 13.
Yeah, not just that. It could relegate Exeter A down a couple of spots in this round. It would put them onto 165, the same as O'Sullivan. And at the moment, that tiebreaker would go Birmingham's way. That'd be another point for Birmingham. Yeah, another point less for Exeter. That's what we're meaning, folks, on this last day of the season, that a position in one race, in the whole context of everything, so, it's not a big deal, but no, sometimes on this last day of the season, one position in one race amongst the 10 that we have today can decide something in terms of a championship point. That's where the big prizes get handed out at the end of today. Great pace from Sam Johns, a 41.142 last time around. He's now pulling away from Jake O'Sullivan. And Jake's got to dig deep here, really deep. He's got to keep himself in that slipstream. He'll be feeling a little bit tired now, having done 2 races in a row. But keeping himself in that slipstream is really important. It helps you along. It takes a little bit of the pressure off. Gives you a reference for your braking points. All of those things where you can just get into a bit of a rhythm is easier when you've got someone just ahead of you being a pacemaker. They're just moving their way through some traffic at the moment. They're going to come onto the back straight in a moment. There they are. Brooks A responding with pace, 41.325 last time around. 8 minutes to go.
It's a decent drive so far from Jack Fisher in the Leeds A car, isn't it, mate? It's
an
improvement.
It really is.
It's an improvement on what they've been they've had the last race or so.
Leeds A are definitely keeping themselves in this. They've had a more consistent season than Birmingham so far this year, and this should be another round where they don't use up a drop score.
Difficult traffic that they've hit now, the leaders, Andrew. They're putting a lap on Brooks D, who aren't particularly, I stress, off the pace. But through has gone Jake O'Sullivan. But again, that's a kart that hopefully isn't going to hold up the Brooks A and B karts that much, else they could have a very awkward drive home.
Trent A have just got past Exeter A for 10th place on the road. Just crossed our commentary box position.
And here we go. This is oh no, sorry, scratch that. Ignore me. It wasn't a battle. It was a kart being lapped.
Sam Johns checks over his shoulder, sees the gap back to Jake O'Sullivan. Jake's got really good straight line speed. He closed in nicely there on the approach to Billy's blind.
Yeah, closed in on our leader during the traffic. It strikes me, Andrew, that in clean air, Sam Johns just has the measure, perhaps slightly on pace, but through the traffic, Jake's experience and racecraft is showing through here.
What are the big stories have we got out there? Well, we've got the ones that we've talked about already. Coventry A are not going to make any kind of statement in this round, but they've still got another one to come. The difficulty though for Coventry now, though, mate, that's their 2-drop scores gone. Yeah. They're gone. We've got to remember back to GYG when they had a bit of a mare in round 5. 2-drop scores across the 9 potential opportunities to accumulate points is what each team has across the course of a BUKC season. There was some talk of a super season, of course.
Yep.
Good news is we've not needed to go to that format. We've been able to get all the key teams here today.
Good news. Can you tell we're WEC fans, anyone? Anyway.
We're not fans of super seasons.
Anyway. We have 5.5 minutes left on the clock. That's going to be a niche reference for some of you. But we have
listen to the rants on the podcast.
Yeah, go tune into the podcast if you want to know why we don't like super seasons. In terms of long seasons, not a superb season. We get those all the time in the BUKC, and we are big fans of those. We are looking at a battle here of Huddersfield A. They're putting a lap, I want to say, on Loughborough B. The number 6 car, Andrew. I don't know what happened to it. I don't think I remember it being caught up in the issues at the start of the race. But this is, for me, mate, this is a difficult one for Coventry in particular. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, mate. I just want to point out, Loughborough A, keep an eye on Loughborough A now. They've recovered back to 13th place in this race.
Yes.
Why is that important? Well, every single place further forward they get in this last 5 minutes is worth points in this round.
Well, they're already getting them because Extra A 2 positions ahead of them has a 2-position penalty.
So they're going to start making inroads. If they can make up 3 or 4 positions, they could sneak their way back onto the round podium here.
Yep.
So we'll keep an eye on that because the pace is quite clearly there for James Mills.
How far off the back? He's a couple of seconds off the back of De Montfort B.
Yep.
That's another penalty for Exeter A. They're really behind. Oh, it's another track limit. Is that a repeat showing, or have they just picked up? No, it's a new track limits penalty.
That's a driver who doesn't understand where the line is. Wasn't paying attention in driver's briefing, unfortunately. 4 minutes to go. Still Sam Johns leading for Trinity A, ahead of Jake O'Sullivan for Birmingham A. He's doing a stellar run here for a team that have had a very, very up and down season. Up the inside of turn there goes Freddie Fincham. That's not for position though. Birmingham A, remember, going from 4th ranked last season, nearly didn't make the whole championship on a crazy qualifiers day at Wilton Mill back in November of last year. Had to rely on a great drive from Josh White that day to get into the mains championship and hold their position as one of the 54.
But this is a theme that we talked about so much on our podcast previewing the event and doing a sort of semi-review of the season so far the other day, mate. Because of the announcement that you can carry your graduates into the next season, there's a real opportunity to build for teams here.
Yep.
Have a two-season program.
Lots of traffic for the leaders.
And is that going to help?
Got through.
Is that going to help Jake O'Sullivan in the Birmingham car?
He's towards the back of this train that you're seeing now. So this could be game, set and match for Sam Johns now that he's cleared his way through. But Jake's just got to keep calm. This is still a really good position. Yeah. And he's got a big gap to the Brooks drivers behind. These scenarios in the BUKC, this is what separates, the good drivers from the great drivers in the BUKC. There's plenty of drivers with a lot of speed, but can you get through the traffic in this situation cleanly and efficiently? As you can see, the back markers are scrapping it out there. I think Phil Craven was being
skirting with the Shadow Realm, shall we say
Got
there.
some strange, names I don't usually expect going a lap down. I don't know if it's lack of experience with Clay Pigeon, because I have been shocked by the number of drivers who say they haven't been. It's like when we came here 2 years ago, mate. Everyone just took the weekend off. I don't know why more drivers haven't been here. Penalty for X to B. They're already where are they? They're 22nd. They're going to have a 4-place position penalty come the end of this one. I haven't mentioned, by the way, I think I've seen a fair few penalties for Loughborough B as Jake O'Sullivan tries to find a way on the traffic. And this is giving the gap to, I can just see out of my window he's a little bit unhappy about the traffic here, and this is allowing Sam Johns to get the breathing space at the head of the field.
This is where you need to keep your cool, because the bigger priority right now is the team. And the team points, curb warning for the number 32 of Birmingham B. They've clipped a sausage out there somewhere. Don't touch JV's sausage.
He's now cleared the traffic, but you're right, Andrew, it's a tough one. Psychologically, he wants that first win.
Yeah.
But he could get a championship win for Birmingham A.
Big move. Leeds A have just hopped up to 6th place, so Jack Fisher doing some great work there. They've put Brighton B down a couple of spots, so Brighton B unfortunately starting to fade in the latter stages of this race. Loughborough A still holding in their 13th place on the road.
Haven't given mention, by the way, good drive so far for Southampton A's Pascal Pook.
Very good drive indeed, back up into the top 5 now. And again, it's been a kind of what, Diego said it earlier, we have 2 good races and 2 races, and they've done it again. They've got 1st and 5th and 26th and 30th.
Here we go, though, coming down to the hairpin for the last time. That's Jake O'Sullivan trying to get past some traffic, but there in the grey suit and the white helmet is your race leader. There is Sam Johns of UWTSDAs. There's a spin there from the number 40 of De Montfort B. So that's going to gift a position to Loughborough A. Actually, that's another point for Loughborough there. But here is Sam Johns. He has driven brilliantly, took the lead very nicely with some lovely exchanges in the mid-race with Birmingham A. Takes the win. UWTSDA finish round 7 with a win. Birmingham A's Jake O'Sullivan can be very proud of a decent 2nd place there. Brooks A, David Haynes taking 3rd place for them there with Brooks B in 4th. 5th for Southampton A, good drive there. Huddersfield A get back past Leeds A, or do they? We've got to wait for them to come across the line to confirm that. But yeah, Huddersfield A ahead of Leeds A. I think my timing screen is frozen, mate, so feel free to take on over from me.
Leeds A 7th, Brighton B 8th. Nottingham ahead of Trent in the battle of the Nottingham Unis there, so 9th and 10th for them. Exeter A 11th, but have penalties. Loughborough A 12th, got another position. How key could that be? Manchester A 13th, Leeds B 14th, Cambridge A 15th, and it was De Montfort B, Brighton A, Bath B, Loughborough C, and Brooks C wrapping out the top 20. Newcastle B, Imperial A, De Montfort A, Exeter B, Brooks D take us down to 25th, and Trent B, Swansea A, Sheffield A, Loughborough B, Coventry A 30th. Not a good round for the reigning champions there. Bournemouth A, Birmingham B, Hertfordshire A and Cambridge B wrap out the 34 karts that were in that race. Right, we're going to do some points tallying and work out who's won round 7, and I'm sure the same. Meanwhile, we're going to head down into Dummy Grid and have a chat with Sam Johns and Jacob Sullivan. Jacob Harris, take it away.
We've got race winner Sam Johns down here in the pits, just getting his number plate and transponder. Sam, come and join me at a social distance, please. Congratulations.
Thank you. That was very unexpected, I'm not going to lie.
Say you weren't too confident. Well, I wouldn't say weren't too confident. Weren't too sure that you were going to walk away with it like that.
Well, I've never really got on with this track, ever. But I like low grip karts, like pro karts and these. And it just suits me really, I suppose. So, yeah.
Bodes well for Sunday, and as I said, your late entry to the Drivers' Championship, and you've got the weekend off to a winning start.
Yeah, it's looking good. Starting 26th for my next race today, and I'm just hoping to keep the momentum up for Sunday. That is if Saturday night isn't too strong on the old alcohol, but...
Well, you'll have to be finished by 10. It's not as if you're going to go out in the town till 4 in the morning, is it?
No, yeah, of course. We'll be in bed by like 9:30, easily.
That's what I like to hear on years where there's no BUKC party. And this might be, you know, a bit too soon to start talking, but we had a UWTSD Drivers' Champion last year in the shape of Harry Farnhill. Can we make it 2 from 2 with you this year?
We're looking for it. Harry's still very confident he can retain it. I want to take it off him. Ben Gilbert is obviously very strong in the lightweights because this is his own track. So it's looking good for us, actually. Hopefully this can be a turn of performance for the entire team.
Perhaps that'll be all 1, 2, 3 in the super final.
That would be very good, actually, and I'd love it because we beat Swansea.
Which of you is the best Welsh university at the minute?
Well, look at the results. We're number 12 and Swansea are 36th.
Yeah, they've had a good year this year, and you haven't quite been on form at some rounds.
Yeah, that's very true. They've performed very well. Ryan Edwards actually is a very good captain for them. He's taught them a lot. He taught me actual karting when I was 10. So they've actually got a very good captain there, and they need to make the most of it.
But do they match up to yourselves?
That's not for me to comment.
Okay, well, we'll let the results speak for themselves at the end of the day, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the best way to show it, really, isn't it?
Exactly. Sam, congratulations on your race win. Hopefully speak to you again sometime this weekend.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Sam Johns there, winner of the final race of this morning's live stream. We're going to take a short break now, but please do join us for round number 8 this afternoon. The stream starts at 1. We'll be back here for 5 more sprint races. I'll see you then.